into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, well, I tune to my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning espresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Give it a bit of a shake, yes. Give it a bit of a shake. It's Friday morning. Good morning and welcome to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. This is Expresso right here on SABC3. So good to hang out with you. So good to see you, my brother.
You too, Brother Bear.
It's a Friday.
It is a Friday, so you can shake it loose at home. Don't
Yes.
adjust your TV set. It's going to be a crazy morning.
It's going to be great, man.
Dude, it's always an awesome day when you walk into set and you find an awesome guy who just happens to be a Springbok as well.
For a second,
Sikhumbuzo Notshe. Every day, bro. Every day, dude. Every day. You're almost big enough,
Almost
man.
there, almost there.
So cool to have him here. Of course, Super Rugby semi-finals coming up this weekend. The Lions, the lone South African Warriors left in the competition. They're up against the Waratahs tomorrow, so we'll get his expert opinion. Catch up on his amazing year as a Springbok. He even played a bit of sevens earlier in the year. But of course, he is here as well to congratulate a guy who I feel really doesn't need anything because he has been given undoubtedly the best job in the world. It has been decided. Our Springbok Bozza has been chosen for an entire year. He's going to be touring with the Springboks, bringing us unrestricted access to what goes on behind the scenes, and he's going to be paid to do it. I would do it for free.
The doors that will open for this man.
It is the coolest job.
It is insane. It is absolutely insane.
So we've got the team from MTN here as well. I think proud as punch to have chosen such a brilliant, can we call him a filmmaker, social media influencer, rugby fan? He's a Bozza, that's what he is.
That's what it comes down to.
This morning.
Absolutely. Also, in terms of music, we have the Stellenbosch University Choir that's joining us this morning, waking us up on a feel-good note this morning. They recently returned from a trip to Wales, where they did very, very well in a music competition right there. We'll find out all those details as we go through your Friday morning. But also, we're talking about that massive lunar eclipse that's happening for the first time in a century. Hey, it's going to be a blood moon. It's going to be a blood moon, and hopefully the skies will clear just enough for us to see, because we will be able to see it down here in Cape Town. Also in Johannesburg, they've said.
Oh man, it's going to be an awesome way to kickstart the weekend, and it starts right here, right now, with a girl. We thought it was a casual Friday.
You know.
So I don't know what's going on that side of the studio. Good morning, Leanne.
Thank you so much, team. Wow, what a way to wake up. And good morning to you at home. Let's get you updated on the news. Leaders of the BRICS bloc have signed a declaration supporting an open and inclusive multilateral trading system at their summit meeting in Sandton. The leaders of South Africa, China, Russia, India, and Brazil have found common ground, championing global trade and condemning protectionist measures. This comes after US President Donald Trump introduced new trade tariffs in March, and several countries retaliated. Chinese President Xi Jinping said the BRICS countries must deepen their partnership, underpinned by economic and security cooperation. Labour brokers will soon be a thing of the past. The National Union of Metal Workers of South Africa, known as NUMSA, has won its battle against labour brokers in court. The Constitutional Court has ruled that workers may only be in the employ of both a labour broker and a main employer for 3 months. After 3 months, the worker will only be working for the main employer and not the labour broker. Kisatu has welcomed the ruling and said this is not just a victory for NUMSA, but the entire working class. Now moving further abroad, tonight promises to be a big night for astronomy in much of Africa, with the longest lunar eclipse, the so-called blood moon eclipse, in a century. It will last from 24 minutes past 8 in the evening to just after midnight. The moon will be fully eclipsed from 9:30 at night until it exits the eclipse stage at 13 minutes after 11, meaning a total eclipse period of about 103 minutes. At the same time, Mars will be making a 15-year close approach to Earth and will be less than 10 degrees from the moon. And when the next eclipse? Only on the 16th of May 2022, so you might want to check it out. And then finally, former ace cricketer Imran Khan, the charismatic aristocrat who captained Pakistan to a World Cup victory in 1992, has claimed victory in Pakistan's election amid accusations of vote riggings by rivals. But Khan said that it has been the clearest, fairest election Pakistan has ever had, and that he would investigate any claims to the contrary. His PTI party is still expected to fall short of an overall victory and will seek coalition partners. An official confirmation of the vote is still to come. Well, that was your 6 o'clock news update. Let's get a very first look at what's happening in the world of sport. Graham has all those details.
Stand on the foot of a massive weekend, especially in rugby. All eyes will be on the Lions tomorrow as they tackle the Waratahs in the Super Rugby semi-finals. The Lions unbeaten in their last 3 games against the Australian outfit, including a 29-0 win this season. However, when we look at the tail of the tape, Tars hold the advantage overall with 7 wins out of their 11 encounters. The Lions match kicks off at 3:05 at Ellis Park, while in the other semi-final, another tough one, the Crusaders face off against the Hurricanes. Then on to cricket, the Proteas will look to bounce back from their test defeat to Sri Lanka when the teams face off in their first ODI on Sunday. The Proteas' last series in the 50-over format saw them lose 5-1 to India in February, while Sri Lanka won 3 of their 5 matches in a tri-series against Zimbabwe and Bangladesh. So lots on the line. The first ODI of that 5-match series gets underway on Sunday at 6:15 a.m. South African time. Then on to soccer, bringing a long-term drama to a close, hopefully for now at least. Ajax Cape Town have withdrawn their interdict to halt the start of the new PSL season, meaning that next week's matches will go ahead as scheduled. Ajax had planned to postpone the season start after their relegation was brought into doubt when Judge Denise Fisher ruled in favour of the Cape Town side's Tendai Ndoro case. That new PSL season will indeed kick off next Saturday with Sundowns, Chiefs and Pirates all in action. Then finally on to cycling, stage 18 of the Tour de France, which is really hotting up at the moment. It took place yesterday and it saw France's Arnaud Démare crossing the line first after a sprint finish. Démare completed the flat 171-kilometre stage in 3 hours, 46 minutes and 50 seconds, just ahead of fellow Frenchman Christophe Laporte. South Africa's Theunis van Rensburg finishing the stage in 14th place. Of course, we're going to continue our Super Rugby discussion and meet our brand new Springbok Bozza in the first half hour of the show, so stay tuned for that. But right now, let's get a take on the weather.
More than a club, more than an appliance brand, Defy.
Thank you, G. As just after 6 o'clock, let's quickly take a first look at your weather and your temperatures for your Friday. And it looks like heavy rain and flooding is expected for the Western Cape today. Also, warnings have been issued for the Oeverberg region, and also persistent lightning and thunder spells are also expected over the next 24 hours. Let's get into your temperatures very quickly. Polokwane on 6 minimum, reaching a high of 23 degrees later on today. Mbombela 11:28, Pretoria 8:21, Johannesburg 6 and a high of 20, Mahikeng 6:24, Klerksdorp 4:23, Kimberley on 3 minimum this morning, warming up to 24 degrees. Bloemfontein around 0 with a maximum 22. Richards Bay 16:29. Pietermaritzburg 10:28. Durban 18:25. Mthatha 9:28. East London starting off on 11 minimum with a maximum of 29 and some rain expected. Cradock 7:22. Port Elizabeth 9 and a maximum of 20, also with some rain showers expected. Some rain for George as well, expected 8 minimum with a cool maximum 16. Sutherland 1 and a maximum 10 with some scattered showers. And Cape Town 8:17, Worcester 6:14, Springbok 6 and a high of 15, and Uppington starting off on 5 minimum, reaching a high of 22 degrees. That's a wrap of your weather and your temperatures for the 6 o'clock bulletin. We'll keep you updated as always throughout the course of your Friday. I'm back just after 6:30 with another weather update.
Well, we live in a world that is constantly changing and life seems to be getting so much faster by the day. So as we welcome today, the 27th of July, Friday, we're taking a look at what happened in history on this day.
Those boots, just dig your heels in. Let's put on the brakes. I love it. That's Friday right there. So let's take it back, way back to 1794, when the architect of the French Revolution, Maximilien Robespierre, was arrested and overthrown, which signaled the beginning of the end of the revolution.
Also on this day in 1949, the world's first commercial jetliner, the de Havilland Comet, made its very first flight ever, ultimately revolutionizing the world of air travel.
Oh, and then not so long ago, a time to celebrate on this day in 2012, the beginning of the highly successful Olympic Games in London took place.
Oh man, well that's our very bite-sized dose of what happened on this day in history. So why don't you go out there, seize the day and make it one for the books.
Right, well, we're going to be taking our very first break this morning. Your Friday morning is officially underway. We have some awesome chats heading your way. Super Rugby chats as that. And we have Sikhumbuzo Notshe with us, Springbok player. He's going to be playing this weekend as well. He's as big as a mountain. We're going to actually just pick his brain a little bit and see how he's feeling ahead of this weekend. How's it? There he is. Good morning.
There we go. Well, give us a wave, gentlemen. We're going to get you some coffees. You can wake up. But we also have to reveal who was chosen to be the Bozza. They're going to be traveling with the Springboks, curating the coolest content, and we get to all enjoy it. So we'll be introducing you to that after the break.
And they're getting paid to do it, which is amazing.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso right here on SABC. Time for us to head to what's happening on the socials. Naturally, you see what we do best on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, just breaking it down. And we want to know from you, from the Vosho to the Gwara Gwara, what do you think should be South Africa's national dance move? Let's see what you had to say. Angel saying, morning team, Aish. Haven't heard of the Aish as the dance move, but okay. Tebogo says the Tsipa Tsipa should be the national dance, guys. Alice says, Kat, you lead them. You know the moves, guy. Alrighty. Carmen says, Wolfert, good morning. I love house music, so people that go to H2O and Tomorrowland go crazy. Still waiting for the dance move, though. Wendy says the Tusopali, and then Sabela says Palaza. And so a lot of people not really giving us the answer to that question. Another Palaza coming through. We want to know, what do you think should be South Africa's new national dance? And somebody says that, I think the Vosho, because it's from our country, so he's supporting that one.
There is an action, look at the glint in my eye. There is an action-packed lineup of sport coming our way. Of course, in Super Rugby, it's all about the semi-finals now, as the Lions entertain the Waratahs. Well, in cricket, of course, the Proteas, they'll want to put their crushing test defeat to Sri Lanka behind them as the teams kickstart their ODI series. 5 matches to look forward to share his views on these matches and what has been a phenomenal year for the man. And I would imagine a bit of a two-edged one in terms of what his teams have been doing. Springbok rugby player Sikhumbuzo Notshe. Dude, always so good to have you here, man. Bro, let's start with sevens. I'm not going to talk Super Rugby right off the bat. I felt awful because we were talking about the choker label, which seems to follow South African sports. But a third place ain't bad at a World Cup when you're the current reigning world champions. I know you are very close to a lot of the sevens players. You've spent quite a bit of time in that fold. How are you feeling about what your lads have achieved?
Yeah, extremely obviously excited and obviously chuffed for them. Obviously, I know that the boys, that was not the result that they were chasing, but the hard work that they put in, obviously, to come third, it was not ideal. But yeah, extremely proud of the system. I think they really worked hard for the tournament, but obviously not the great result that they wanted.
I would imagine you've had to wrap your head around winning and losing. A fantastic year with the Springboks, so congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Super Rugby, it's been a bit of a tough one for you and the Stormers outfit. Now that you can take a step back, hopefully you've been able to wrap your head around it. We can look forward to a new season, but I would imagine all hopes now in South African rugby, everything is focused on the Lions up against the Waratahs. We've seen the Lions beat the Waratahs 3 times in their most recent encounters. Do you think the Lions have the Tars number at home?
Are ready to roll?
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, the Lions have had an awesome season. Obviously, they're still playing. They beat them quite convincingly in Sydney, as you can see. I think the Lions have, the edge, especially playing at Highveld and in Joburg, in front of their home family, in front of their home, faithfuls and stuff. So, yeah.
How tough is it for a travelling side to play up north?
Yeah, I think it's been proven. I mean, a couple of New
It's
Zealand...
the weirdest thing.
Yeah, a couple of New Zealand sides have went up to Joburg and come second best, and I don't think it's going to be no different to the Waratahs that come in this weekend, I mean, with that Lions side, really exciting players there.
A couple of form players in that side as well. Carl Brink, unfortunately, out. Lawrence Erasmus comes into flank. How vital against an Australian team that is so devastating at the breakdown? You would know this better than most. How important is Lawrence's and, in fact, that entire kind of loose phase going to be for the Lions this weekend?
Yeah, look, I think for them, they believe in their players. Whoever plays and gets an opportunity, they believe in them. I don't think there's much disruptions there. When you speak about breakdown, look, they've also got their own specimens. You look at Malcolm Marx, you look at Kwagga Smith, you look at Kwagga Smith. So I don't think there's much of a disruption there, and I think they back their players, they back their systems, and I think that's why they're in the semi-finals.
So I won't say we're expecting, I don't want to jinx them, but we're hoping they're going to go through to meet either the Hurricanes or the Crusaders. I think in all the New Zealand home semi-finals where there's been 2 New Zealand players, the home side has won. What do you make of that? The Hurricanes got tested last week. They just scraped through, but the Crusaders looked like, as they seem to always do, hit form at just the right time.
Yeah, look, I agree with you, but it's also good to have a South African team out there representing South Africa.
Boys.
It's very important for our rugby as well.
Yeah.
So it's good for South African rugby. Look, I don't want to speak much about New Zealand teams, but look, I'll be hooting for the Lions this weekend.
No, completely, man. And let's hope the stadium is full. So then we talk about defeat. Obviously, the Proteas, I know cricket isn't your kind of lane, but you would know something about having to bounce back from something that's kind of as devastating as the Proteas have lost to Sri Lanka. How do they wrap their head around starting a brand new series? How do you get your mind back into a winning mind frame when faced with now the start of a massive new campaign?
Yeah, Graham, I think, that's a bit of a tough one, but individually...
Tell me at the beginning of next year, yeah.
Yeah, look, it's a tough one, and I feel for those boys, especially as a group. I think this is, the time that you have to pull together as a unit. Look, I think, our South African rugby, we've been in a sort of similar position last season, and we sort of managed to obviously pull things together, and try to get things together.
Was that the brotherhood? What made the difference for you guys?
Yeah, I think, coaching staff working harder. They sort of led by example, and then it makes it easy for players to obviously follow. So I think that's one of the main reasons when, the coaching management works harder. Then you sort of need to reward them. Reward that hard work that they put in. So behind closed doors.
Boys left nothing out there. So cool to have you here, dude. Thank you so much for joining us. And of course, in just a moment, we are going to be connecting with our all-star team from MTN, who has grown by one family member this morning. The Springbok Bozza has been decided. We'll meet him in just a moment.
Thank you very much, Graham. Wow, Zoe. Breaking down the studio here. Wow. Listen, it's a Friday. It's time to have some fun. And have you tuned into Expresso this whole week? Because it is time to play our Expresso Rewind game. I hope you're ready. Leanne's got a game phase on. She's been throwing
I feel like
all
I'm
kinds
on the
of
back
things.
because I was a little bit ill this week, but I'm going to give it my best.
It's okay. At least we're here every day this week.
We're here for it.
That's
Let's
good.
do
So
the
you know
things.
how it works. You can play along at home as well. We're going to be having some fun. So I'm going to read a question. You have to wait until I finish the question before you make your sound and then answer. Right.
Okay.
Zoe, what's your sound?
Me.
Leanne.
Woo!
Woo! Okay, and of course we are playing for the coveted Golden Monkey Award. Right, here we go. Okay, firstly, look, eyes front center.
Yes, we're there.
How big should your portion size be when eating red meat?
Me.
Oh, that was a whoa.
Was it a whoa?
That was a whoa.
Oh, like I am gonna guess, ne? I think it should just be like palm size.
It's the size of your palm. Yes,
yeah.
all right.
Sorry,
Let's
guys,
move
I
along
was very
swift.
happy there.
Come on, Zoe, you can do this. You can do this.
There's one question in.
Here we go.
Okay.
What is the title of Nick Haralambous' debut book?
Me.
Ooh.
It was a whoa.
It was a me.
Do, fail, learn, repeat.
You're on the money.
There we go.
On the money.
There we go.
One Zoe, one Leanne. Here we go. Here we go. I hope you guys are having fun at home as well. Next one. What can you do to defart a cabbage?
Defart a cabbage.
Come on, guys.
I think that you can.
Defart cabbage.
Do you, what do you call it? You know when you put it in hot water and you blanch it? Blanch?
Do you want to take a guess, Zoe?
Don't eat it.
Blanch? No, you have to defart it so you can eat it. Okay, no points. Let's see. Steam it, blanch it. You can do it. You can get it. You get a point. Leanne gets a point.
Thank you.
Lemon juice, Zoe. You can defart a cabbage. All right, last one. Name the movie starring Shailene Woodley and Sam Claflin. Based on the true ocean survival. You looked story. I'll go with me.
No, she said
I didn't
me
look.
first, and then
You
I
looked
looked.
here while I was
but she said
reading.
me while you were
What's
still
the
going
answer?
Can we
on.
give it together? 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Adrift. Sorry, buddy, girl power.
Well done. Yo, I don't like this attitude, hey. I don't like this attitude. But well done, ladies.
I learned something new today, how to defart a
Defart
cabbage.
cabbage. Lemon juice, a blanch it. Listen, we get a question for you on social media as well, and this is an interesting one because the question is, what, according to Zola Nene, is the Zulu word for willy-nilly? What is the Zulu word for willy-nilly, according to Zola Nene?
I'm glad you added nilly because I was worried there in the beginning.
Willy-nilly. That's an expression. Let us know on social media. Use that hashtag Expresso Show. The Golden Monkey Award goes
Being
to...
shared. It's being shared. It's
It'll
equal,
sit right there between the
I'll
two of
share
you.
it.
It's shared.
It'll sit there between the two of you.
Sharing it.
I'm way too scared to get involved in here, I must be honest. Thank you very much for playing.
The tough stuff this morning, and I say that because I'm just so jealous right now. MTN and SA Rugby launched a mission in May of 2018 to find the perfect person to follow our beloved Springbok rugby team around the world and get paid to do it, like they needed to be paid to do it. It is undoubtedly the best job in the world. The official Bozza will become the exclusive social eyes and ears of South Africa's rugby nation until the end of the 2019 Rugby World Cup in Japan. And the nation has answered and done it in style. The Bozza has now been chosen. Please welcome Mark Nancorrow, your official Springbok Bozza, and Helen Christoforou from MTN. Guys, welcome. Mark, get out. Get out, man. Come on, dude. Come on, dude. Oh, man, Helen, congratulations on such a cool campaign. Mark, dude, I mean, how do you even put it into words? How are you feeling right now? How did you feel when you got that, the official word that you are now the Bozza, bro?
Yeah, it's totally surreal. Like, it's not something you can put into words. As you said, it's a dream job. In my opinion, it's the best job in the world. And you know, when I heard that this job was available, you know, I never dreamed that I could actually go ahead and win this competition. I was just super stoked.
Hey.
Yeah.
Oh man, Russ here. Rasmus is clapping for you, man. What do you think got you the gig, dude? What was it?
At the end of the day, I think it's my passion for the game, really. That's what shone through. I think it's my love of the sport, love of this team, and I think through my content, I was able to show, you know, how passionate I am about the Springbok brand and the Springbok environments, and I think that's what MTN drew me to MTN, and that's what MTN appreciated.
I just love the way, when we talk about a brand and a rebrand, Siku spoke about it now, about where the Springboks were and where they've come to. A big part of that is what you guys have thrown into this. It feels like this is a team that belongs to the nation now. Yes. What was it about this young man that tipped the scales? Because there were some brilliant entries, and can we give a round of applause to all of our finalists? Because you were up against some stiff opposition. What was it about Mark that won through?
You know,
we had a panel of people who interviewed the semi-finalists to get to the 3 finalists. Mark was chosen because there was just something about Mark. He was just natural in front of the camera. He had the skills we were looking for. His rugby knowledge is phenomenal. I mean, when you speak to Mark about rugby, the passion just shines through. And that was just a combination we couldn't beat. So he landed up being one of our finalists, and when he produced the content in the week that he spent with the Springboks, it shone through. And it wasn't actually us who finally chose Mark. We opened it up to the South African public. We needed someone that South Africa would engage with, and they chose from the 3 finalists. The voting resulted in Mark being our Bozza.
Dude, I thought it was his rugged good looks, man. Come
there
on.
was that too.
Hashtag answer the call. This is a very special year for us. Tata Madiba would have been celebrating his centenary. Obviously, the Springbok brand and what you can achieve with sport. And I love this. I mean, I've gotten to know Francois really well, and I think we share a similar dream for South African rugby. What did the Answer the Call campaign mean to you? Why has it been such a resounding success so far, do you think?
Well, as you say, so far. So it's just the beginning, and we are baby steps into something that is going to be overwhelming across the nation and the world as we go into a big year next year with the Springboks. So, I mean, you said Tata Madiba, he really answered his call. He was an ordinary man who was called to do ordinary things on behalf of South Africa and with the Springboks. So for us, this is what we're calling on South Africans to do. Not just MTN subscribers, not just our customers, the whole of South Africa. Just answer the call in support of the Springboks and ultimately South Africa. So we have a Sounds the Call series. We're highlighting ordinary people who are called to do extraordinary things in answering the call. You can see that on YouTube and on all our social media handles. We've got Mark, who is the eyes and ears, creating unique content, a behind-the-scenes look at the Springboks to really create a connection with the team, with the individuals, with rugby as a whole. So I think this is going to build and build and build, and it literally, there is no end to where this is going.
There is. It's called the World Cup trophy. That's where
I think that might be the beginning of something else.
Yeah, let's call it
entirely.
phase 2. Mark, I'm going to let you just feel that picture right there, buddy. You've brought yourself into this fold, so congratulations. Helen, thank you so much for allowing us to be a part. I think you saw our entrant videos, and you're lucky we weren't allowed to actually enter, dude. We would have given you a run for your money. But this has been such a beautiful narrative for us to bring to you guys, so please stay with us, because it's only getting started. After the break, we've got a very special Springbok joining us on the couch again to give you another bit of an initiation, but well done once again to Mark. Can we get a round of applause for our official Bozza?
Yeah, wow, that is amazing, man.
Probably
what
one
a
of the
prize.
coolest jobs.
Listen, after the break, what does a day in the life of a Springbok look like? Well, that is the task of Mark, and he's supposed to bring us all those behind the scenes. I think it's a phenomenal job, a phenomenal opportunity as that as well, but we will continue talking to Mark after the break.
And then also after the break, we're going to take a look at what is Roger Good's pick of the weekend from 5FM. So don't go anywhere. We'll see you in just a bit.
Only you can make my day.
Welcome back. You're tuned into your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso, right here on SABC3. It's a Friday, Zoe. Can you feel it? That Friday feeling. Soak it up. The weekend is here. It's raining in Cape Town, which is also amazing. Lunar eclipse happening. There's so much.
There's so much.
But listen, we are nearing the end of July. It's been an incredible month so far, celebrating the life and legacy of Tata Madiba, and also looking at some incredible quotes and things that he's parted with, left upon us to continue that legacy. And it's been really phenomenal to see some of the incredible quotes that he have left us with. But we have another one for you this morning, which I think is very profound as well.
We do. And every morning when we listen to these quotes, I'm like, oh, this is my favorite. This is my favorite. So today I'm going to say the exact same thing to date. This is one of my favorite quotes from Tata Madiba. And it says, "For to be free is not merely to cast off one's chains, but to live in a way that respects and enhances the freedom of others." Such wise and true words, and I feel like for our country it is so true, and so many people that can take that with them. For to be free is not merely to cast off one's chains, but to live in a way that respects and enhances the freedom of others.
And this is exactly what I love about Tata Madiba. All of these quotes, is geared towards making the lives of people better.
Yeah.
And that is exactly it. And I think that is why it's so special, and that is why it resonates so well with all of us. And I think we really should take these quotes and these things on board and implement them on our own lives, or in our own lives, especially now going into the weekend, going into the rest of the year. Make it a Tata Madiba day every day.
In the national news this morning, leaders of the BRICS countries have signed a declaration supporting an open and inclusive multilateral trading system at their summit meeting in Sandton. They have found common ground championing global trade and condemning protectionist measures. The National Union of Metalworkers of South Africa has won its battle against labour brokers in court. On the international front, tonight is going to be a big night for astronomy in much of Africa, with the longest lunar eclipse, the so-called blood moon eclipse, in a century. It will last from 24 minutes past 8 at night to just over midnight. And then finally, former ace cricketer Imran Khan, who captained Pakistan to a World Cup victory in 1992, has claimed victory in Pakistan's election amid accusations of vote rigging by rivals. Well, that was your 6:30 news update. I'll have a full bulletin for you at the top of the hour.
Quickly flying through those sporting headlines. In rugby, all eyes will be on the Lions tomorrow as they tackle the Waratahs in the Super Rugby semi-finals. Kickoff in Joburg is at 5 minutes past 3. Then a big weekend for the Proteas. They'll look to bounce back from their test defeat to Sri Lanka when the teams face off in the first ODI on Sunday. That game gets underway at 6:15 in the morning, South African time. Then in football, Ajax Cape Town have withdrawn their interdict to halt the start of the new PSL season, meaning that next week's matches will go ahead as scheduled. And in cycling, stage 18 of the Tour de France took place yesterday, which saw France's Arnaud Mare crossing the line first, with South Africa's Janse van Rensburg finishing in 14th place. More on all of those stories on the top of the hour. Right now, let's see if the roads have woken up.
They certainly have. Let's take a first look at the traffic in Gauteng and Bedfordview. There's an accident on the N3 northbound. It's at Modderfontein Road and it's currently blocking that right lane. So please approach with caution. You can expect delays. I'll have more for you in half an hour.
Book flights from 499 Rand, only on Travelstart.co.za.
Just after 6:30, let's quickly take another look at your weather and your temperatures. It's nice and early on your Friday morning, and heavy flooding and raining has also been expected, or as expected, for the Western Cape today. And a warning has been issued for the Overberg region as well going into your Friday. And also persistent thunder and lightning spells will also be seen in the skies around the next 24 hours as well. So definitely a stormy day down in Cape Town. Let's quickly take a look at those temperatures. Polokwane starting off on 6 minimum, reaching a high of 23. Mbombela 11.28. Pretoria 8 and a high of 21 degrees. Johannesburg 6.20, Maikeng 6 and a high of 24. Klerksdorp starting off on 4 degrees minimum, your maximum 23. Kimberley 3.24. Bloemfontein around 0 this morning with a maximum 22. Richards Bay 16.29. Pietermaritzburg 10 and a high of 28. Durban 18.25. Mthatha 9.28. East London on 11 minimum, your maximum 29. Cradock 7.22. Port Elizabeth 9.20. George 8 and a high of 16. Sutherland 1 minimum this morning, staying cold with a maximum of only 10 degrees. Cape Town 8.17. Worcester 6.14. Springbok on 6 minimum with the maximum 15. and Uppington on 5 minimum, your maximum 22 degrees. That's a wrap of your weather and your temperatures for the 6:30 bulletin. We'll bring you another update just at the top of the hour after 7 o'clock.
Okay, we're back in studio with our official MTN Bozza, Mark Nancorrow, and of course Siko joins us again to chat a little bit about that glorious emblem, or both of those glorious emblems on your chest, man. It's all about the Springboks now for you, dude. For the next year, you are going to be in the fold. Have you guys met before? Obviously, you met on set. Have you been able to meet Siko before?
Yo, we met yesterday actually in Stellenbosch. I just had a quick chat and a photo, so yeah.
And you're going to be taking a lot of photos. You must just get used to it. Every time you turn around, he's going to be there with the camera, man. But it really is cool. But Siko, I'm going to start with you, dude, because first of all, congratulations on the call-up. Fantastic debut for the Springboks. But now it gets real. Rugby championships. Is it bigger? Is it more intense? Does it get any more crazy than playing in the rugby championships? And I know nothing is written in stone, but how are you feeling about that, man?
Yeah, it's big. I think after the World Cup, as we mentioned, I think it's one of the biggest tournaments, because it's a dream come true. Obviously, as a youngster, watching it, back in the day when it was called the Tri-Nation, obviously now, as we're looming towards it, hopefully...
Looming? Why do you use the word looming, dude?
Because, it's getting closer. Hopefully, you get a call up. Hopefully, you can actually, play a rugby championship.
Look at that smile, man. Look at that smile. No, it's a massive honour, dude. So congratulations. And I know it's now your turn to really kick it into gear. Now the job has actually begun. How are you feeling about following the Springboks in the Rugby Championship, and what are you anticipating from this?
Absolutely stoked. Essentially, the job is to be the social eyes and ears of South Africa's rugby mad public, and to kind of foster a connection between the South Africans who love their rugby so much and the Springbok team. So I can't wait to start working. I'm going to be following these guys around Rugby Championship, outbound tour, and then culminating in the Rugby World Cup next year in Japan. So yeah, it's an awesome experience. I'm expecting a lot from these guys. I think they've hit the ground running with a test victory over England, and super stoked to just continue that momentum into the Rugby Championship.
Dude, I'm gonna bring you onto the show as often as I possibly can, man, because there is an opportunity, obviously, to plug into your rugby knowledge as well. And Helen said that was a big part of why she thinks that the public loved you and voted for you as well. That passion is there. What has shifted within the Springbok squad now when you look at where they are, how these guys are playing, that brotherhood as it stands at the moment? What do you think's winning for them?
Well, I think you highlighted already. It's the brotherhood. I think it's the whole core environment, and that the culture within the team seems to have moved to quite a positive disposition. The players just look happy. I mean, I've been watching the guys training, obviously in Bloemfontein when we buried the series there against England, and then again yesterday at the Donny Craven Stadium. The guys just look happy. They look motivated. Russie's obviously an incredible motivator, incredible coach, and the passion, the confidence, and the belief is back in the team, and that's something important.
Hey?
I think you just summed it up. I think I'm done. I think I'm done with this. I'm done with this interview. I mean, I speak about him. Actually, yesterday when I met him, I was like, he's got the best gig in the world. I mean, you get to travel, and you give insight to the people of South Africa. Obviously, they don't see much of the guys. They only see clips of the guys training, and stuff like that. But he gets to obviously take clips of us, behind the scenes and everything like that, and give the public, what we're all about, the banter now and then, the banter with the boys and stuff like that. So he's got the best gig, Marky. So, congrats to him.
And you're already Marky now, boy. One of the boys, boy.
So congrats to him, and yeah, we will obviously make it sure that it's a special time for him,
Dude, thank you so much for joining us this morning, bro, and skirting around the difficult issues. We really appreciate it, and even talking a bit of cricket, man. But Mark, I'm so chuffed for you, dude. This really is, from my time that I've been able to spend with the Springboks, limited time, it really does make me proud to be a South African. And I think you really do have the best job in the world. So I look forward to bringing you back here every week if I can. But I'm going to be following you, and I suggest everyone follows you at @official_Bozza Bozza is where you can find his unrestricted access to the Springbok squad. Sikho, we love you, dude. Thank you so much, and all the best of luck in final prep now, building towards the Rugby Championships and, of course, the World Cup. We're going to be following that narrative very closely. Can I get one more round of applause for our official Bozza?
Oh, man. This guy is going to have the time of his life.
What a job, huh?
Life, man. What a job. Listen, stick around. We're going to take a quick break.
That's right. And if you want to know why I know it's going to be a good weekend, it's because we're going to connect with Roger Good from 5FM to get his pick of the weekend.
And then we need to catch up with MotswedingFM and chat about the exciting Robben Island broadcast. All that more happening on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Okay, we can go, guys.
Sitting city Bozza, amen, amen, hallelujah, amen, 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 atasona ke popelo, baetsa dibe, oh, amen, 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 amen. Amen, amen, katsabone katswarelo, bare amen, hallelujah, obora robote. It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back, you beautiful souls. You're live with Expresso ahead of the weekend, and we've got just what you've been craving for. They are so crazy. They are oh so good looking. It's the Roger Good shows. Roger Good, Suresh Rada, Miss Cosmo, and Robbie Cruz from 5FM Morning Team.
Oh, no, you love it.
Oh, they've lost their minds, and in fact, they are so good looking that it's rumored that they are all members of the Kardashian family. It's just a rumor, just saying. You beautiful peeps, what's happening across Mzansi Wood?
What's happening, brother? All right, good morning to everybody that's tuning in. How you doing? We've got 3 really hot picks for you and the family to get to. Check this out. First up, we are down in the city of Poison, KZN, Durban. How you doing? A State of Stance is what it's called. It's a classic party. I played there before. It's excellent. Car enthusiasts from all parts of the country make your way to the biggest show in Durban this weekend. A State of Stance sets the bar for the South African motor industry with an amazing musical lineup, including the legends, Warren G, Ryan the DJ, my man, Easy Freaks, and loads more to hit the stage. You don't want to miss out. That's this Saturday, 28 July, until Sunday from 9 in the morning. $100 gets you in the door. Up number 2, we are up in Joburg in the big city for the Big 5 comedy show at Monte Casino. The Titans of Comedy, stand-up comedy band together this weekend to raise the roof. John Flismus was on our show yesterday. You guys have had him. He's hilarious. He's the king. He's joined by Joey Rasdeen, Stuart Taylor, Nick Rabowski, the Jason Goliath returned to Joburg as well for 2 wild shows that take place at the Teatro at Monte Casino. The show also features the legendary DJ Reddy D, creating an electric atmosphere with his scratching and mixing skills. It's going to be off the chains Friday, Saturday from 8 o'clock in the evening. $150 gets you in. And finally, we're down in Nelson Mandela Bay, Port Elizabeth. Stand up, because some guy named Roger Good is going to be playing live at Open Sky. It's where the party's at. Head on DJ Z and Bentley, my old friend Dane Lee, Dean Upman and the boys are going to be pulling in to support. That's from about 7, 8 o'clock tonight. $80 will get you in. What do you say, Graham? Ooh.
So after that shameless self-promotion, faces will be melted off. Let's bring you back down to the mother city to do a little of that ourselves. If you're into gaming, this is the one, the only, the Electronics and Gaming Expo, EGE, a 3-day geek, and I'm a self-confessed geek. It's a heaven for you guys, showcasing the best in local and international gaming and nerd culture. All 3 days, there'll be an LA Ann running cosplay events, all kinds of geeky merchandise. Definitely the place to be this weekend for gaming enthusiasts. Land sounding really, really awesome for 3 days. Are you man enough? It's going to cost you just 110 to 230 Rand to get in. And that's from today up until Sunday, the 29th. And it rounds off at 12 o'clock. Now, in honor of the blood moon tonight, can I get an extra special hoorah? Oh, my life is complete. That's what's happening across some Zanziwood.
Oh, well, listen, I'm quite excited to hear what's happening in local entertainment news. I feel like this week's been a good week.
It's been a very good week, and if you are ready for a holiday and you are maybe considering between a European city or even Taiwanese beaches, there might be an option that you have not yet considered. While many stars are opting for vacations on tropical islands like I would, singer Bobby van Jaarsveld and his beautiful wife are spending some quality time together in the deserts of Jordan, you guys. The stars shared some incredible pictures of their time away, including pictures of the historical city of Petra and a few gorgeous snaps of camels trekking through the sand. So I definitely think it's absolutely amazing. I would love to. They're giving us goals here.
Yes, and it's different. Look at the camels.
Oh my word. Oh, they are so beautiful. They are just goals. Anyways, now if single life has been getting you down, rapper Casper Nyovest has got some helpful advice. Listen up, y'all. The star responded to a Twitter user who was not so happy about her relationship status or lack thereof, telling her that relationships are not that easy and she should just enjoy her life, whether she is with someone or not. Now, relationships are tough, they are hard work, they might look good from the outside, but best believe it's war. And of course, he just says, enjoy your life. Yes, keep covering up that. And says, be your own happiness first. That is the way the muse are run. I think it's very, very inspiring words from Casper saying, first, be happy within yourself, enjoy your singleness, because the day that it's over, you have a whole ton of other responsibilities.
And I think it's so unfair to expect someone else to make you happy. Like, you need to be happy and whole stepping into that relationship.
100%. Oprah said, you need to first have your own life before you become someone's wife.
Woo! There we go. Words from Leanne and Oprah.
That's right. But Michael, I'm ready.
She has her own life. I absolutely love that. Thank you so much, ladies. Now let's continue to inspire you on this Friday morning. Mandela Month has been amazing this year, and it's now rounding off, and the media have been, I think, very hard at work reminding South Africans to hashtag be the legacy, not just this Mandela Day on the 18th, not just this month, but every single day, every year for our entire lives. And that's why MotswedingFM's midday show, Na Le Wena, has been spending the year celebrating the places that Nelson Mandela has touched with his legacy. Amon Mokoena, former Metro FM DJ and now host of Na Le Wena, joins us this morning about his very exciting, it sounds like, Robben Island broadcast taking place later today.
Yeah.
Aaron, welcome, my brother.
How you doing?
I'm great, dude. You must be feeling the love. Tata Madiba joined us for this chat.
Yeah,
He has been living in all of us this month, and it's been amazing to see what we as everyday South Africans can do to hashtag live the legacy. But I've got to ask you straight off the bat, a bit of a move, a bit of a shift within the grand scheme of things. How are you finding your new position at midday and with the new family, man?
The time slot is still the same, because that's about the same time slot I was doing my radio at Metro.
It's your zone.
That's basically my lane. But the challenge is the whole language thing. Like I hear you try and you're doing your best.
You got to do it with heart, bro. That's my rule, man. You got to do it with meaning. Yeah.
But yeah, I find it quite challenging, especially the language thing. But I think I've got it on lockdown now. So.
And I know Tata Madiba would have been proud of you for doing that. He understood that if you speak to a man in his own language, you speak to his heart, and that's
true.
That's what your campaign, what you guys have been doing, really does speak to. It's about connecting with the power of Mandela Month, but needing to continue that every day. Mm-hmm. How excited are you about your broadcast today? What exactly is going to be going on?
It's amazing because I know that there's a whole educational tour happening there, and the one exciting thing about it is that we brought up a listener that's never been to Cape Town. They've never been on a flight before, so everything is like a first for them. Oh, and I know that because I've done that whole tour before. With the family. I know what to expect, but there's quite a lot more to learn as we go along as well. So yeah, it's one of those things.
This is happening on two levels, and I think maybe this is what Mandela Month is all about. There is an opportunity within media to really capitalize on this interest, this upswing in media attention. Mm-hmm. But there is a moment within all of this, and I found that on Mandela Day for myself, where it's a gut check.
Yeah.
Where you've got to really be authentic about what you're doing and take it on board. What does hashtag Be the Legacy mean to you?
It's, just doing everything that you can for the next person with all your heart. And the one thing that I've picked up about all the broadcasts that we've done, because we went to the Apartheid Museum at Gold Reef City. You learn quite a lot just in that place. We went to his house in Soweto at Vilakazi Street last week. But now when you're in his space, basically, like you really do check yourself, and you have to do amazing things for other people, knowing that it's for the good of the country as well.
Dude, so what's planned for the lineup on the show? Are you deviating from your formula? What's your slot all about, and how is that going to be? You think?
The slot is basically a magazine show about information that helps people that are at work to go through the day as easy as possible. And today I'm literally going to let Robben Island take over the show, and I'll just follow their lead. So basically, the listener must just go with me wherever we go, because I don't even know where I'm going. I'm just going to follow their lead.
That's why you're so at home on this show, dude. It's an organic thing. We just start the engine and let it ride.
Yes.
Aaron, I hope you feel as loved, or Amon, sorry, man, that you feel as loved as you are. I know that you are still going to achieve massive things in this new slot with your new family. So congratulations on the move, and well done to you and your team for stepping up in this way and embracing not only the positive side of this, but also that darker side that we've got to wrestle with. I think it's important for us, and I think Tata, he's even smiling, man. Tata Madiba would be really proud of what everyone has been doing this year to honor his centenary. So just enjoy it. Enjoy the ride between 12 and 3. MotswedingFM is where you're going to find Amon and his unbelievable team. And of course, that listener, what's that listener's name?
The listener's name?
That's going to be joining you for the first
Veronica.
time. Veronica, enjoy that experience. It's going to be truly magical. But all of those listeners, enjoy what sounds like the most emotional ride on Robben Island this afternoon.
Well, we have a very exciting giveaway, and Shailene Woodley and Sam Claflin, they star in this romantic drama based on a biographical novel set in 1983 about a couple who are left stranded in the middle of the Pacific Ocean after a hurricane and must find their way to Hawaii with a damaged ship and no radio. Whoosh. Now, this heartbreaking true story about the fight for survival against the harsh current of nature is sure to be a tearjerker.
A tearjerker indeed. We've been seeing some of that visuals throughout the course of the week. It looks phenomenal. But we're giving 5 of you lucky viewers the chance to win one of 5 amazing Kindles valued at 2,000 Rand. So you can watch the movie and use your new Kindle to read the book right after. Now, if you're feeling lucky, visit the Expresso Facebook page, find the competition post, and share a photo of you and the person you'd want to be stuck on a ship with and why. Now, the competition closes on Friday, the 27th of July, which is today, by the way, at 5 o'clock, and T&Cs can be found on our website, expressoshow.com. So make sure you get those entries in right away.
Well, still to come on your Feel Good Breakfast show, we're going to take a look at tech news after the break and look at how exactly will 5G work. And then I am surrounded by greatness because after the break, the Stellenbosch University Choir performs. Enjoy a moment in between with McAfee. See you after the break.
Awesome. Stay with me. Sound check before we go real. Okay, we can go. Sound check. Performance. Okay, go. Sound check first. Go, sound check. Performance!
Sitting, city, Bozza, amen, 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 matasona ke bopelo.
Keep going from the beginning to the okay, we're good, it's okay. Okay, stand by. Oh, yeah, great.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, you incredibly beautiful souls. Thank you for joining us for what has been the most inspiring Friday morning, and it's about to go from there to here. We are joined this morning by the absolutely gorgeous and world-renowned Stellenbosch University Choir, one of the most famous certainly in the country and possibly the world. They've just returned from the 2018 Llangollen International Musical Eisteddfod in Wales in 3 different categories and won all 3. And they are here to perform just for us, just for you this morning. 2 African prayers, Seteng Sadiba and Bawo Tiko Somandla. Guys, the stage is yours.
Sitting city, Bozza, amen, 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 matasona ke bopelo, baetsadibe, amen, 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 amen. Katabole katswarelo, bare amen, hallelujah. Obora rogo terone, tatele morale moya, babimbe kaosafele, bare amen, hallelujah. Obora rogo terone, Somana, Ulintonu Bukwenaba, Azizele Busweni Venkosi, Bawo, Tiko Somana, Bawo, Teo Sabe, Tosi Butwela Monsima, Azizele Busweni Venkosi, Bawo, Tiko Somana. See
Oh, keep that applause going for just a little bit longer. And our choir conductor, Andre van der Merwe, who was too busy filming the whole exercise.
You have to create memories, right?
Every other person in here was doing exactly that. I think you went out and simulcast on everyone's Insta feed, guys. Thank you so much. I understand why you guys have gotten the accolades that you have, and it's all on him.
Yes, of course. No.
No, you guys are phenomenal, so congratulations and thank you for blessing us with that. How proud are you? I mean, you're exuberant, to say the least. Where does that joy, where does that pride stem from? How much do you love these guys?
Oh, I love them tremendously because they represent South Africa, the true demographics. What I love is how the different cultures fuse to make unity, but creating a unique energy. And I think that's part of our secret, that kind of humanity shines while we sing. So yes, I'm proud.
But you also have to be just uber talented. You guys have gone to compete against the best in the world, and you've won in every category. How much hard work does it take to get across that line?
Yeah, you see, all of that energy and charisma, whatever, don't really help if you don't work hard. So we have a philosophy, first the discipline, then the freedom. And I'm very proud to say that they're finally getting it. Yay!
Of course, because you look like the disciplinarian, you know,
Oh,
just
yeah.
tough as nails.
Oh, he doesn't know.
Guys, thank you so much. Take a curtsy or a bow very quickly, please. Ladies and gentlemen, the University Choir of the Stellenbosch University doing us proud. Thank you so much. We will bring you another performance.
In the national news, leaders of the BRICS bloc have signed a declaration supporting an open and inclusive multilateral trading system at their summit meeting in Sandton. The leaders of South Africa, China, Russia, India and Brazil have found common ground championing global trade and condemning protectionist measures. This comes after US President Donald Trump introduced new trade tariffs in March and several countries retaliated. Chinese President Xi Jinping said the BRICS countries must deepen their partnerships underpinned by economic and security cooperation. Labour brokers will soon be a thing of the past. The National Union of Metal Workers of South Africa, known as NUMSA, has won its battle against labour brokers in court. The Constitutional Court has ruled that workers may only be in the employ of both a labour broker and a main employer for 3 months. After 3 months, the worker will be the only working for the main employer and not the labour broker. COSATU has welcomed the ruling and says this is not just a victory for NUMSA, but for the entire working class. Now moving further abroad, tonight promises to be a big night for astronomy in much of Africa with the longest lunar eclipse, the so-called blood moon eclipse, in a century. It will last from 24 minutes past 8 to just after midnight. The moon will be fully eclipsed from 9:30 until it exits the eclipse stage at 13 minutes past 11, meaning a total eclipse period of about 103 minutes. At the same time, Mars will be making a 15-year close approach to Earth and will be less than 100 degrees from the moon. And when's the next eclipse? Only on the 16th of May, 2022. And then finally, former ace cricketer Imran Khan, the charismatic aristocrat who captained Pakistan to a World Cup victory in 1992, has claimed victory in Pakistan's election amid accusations of vote rigging by rivals. But Khan said that it has been the clearest and fairest election that Pakistan has ever had, and that he would investigate any claims to the contrary. His PTI party is still expected to fall short of an overall majority and will seek coalition partners. An official confirmation of the vote is still to come. Well, that was your 7 o'clock news update. Here's Graham with another look at what's happening in the exciting world of sport.
Big weekend in sport. Let's kick it off with rugby. All eyes will be on the Lions tomorrow as they tackle the Waratahs in the Super Rugby semi-finals, of course, at home. The Lions are unbeaten in their last 3 games against the Australian outfit, including a 29-0 win this season. However, In the tail of the tape, the Tars hold the advantage overall with 7 wins out of their 11 encounters. The Lions match kicks off at 3:05 at Ellis Park, while of course in the other semi-final, the Crusaders face off against the Hurricanes. Then in cricket, the Proteas will look to bounce back from their test defeat to Sri Lanka when the teams face off in their first ODI on Sunday. Proteas' last series in the 50-over format saw them lose 5-1 to India in February, while Sri Lanka won 3 of their 5 matches in a tri-series against Zimbabwe and Bangladesh. The first ODI of that 5-match series gets underway on Sunday morning, bright and early, 6:15 in the morning, South African time. Then on to football. Ajax Cape Town have withdrawn their interdict to halt the start of the brand new PSL season, meaning that next week's matches will indeed go ahead as scheduled. Ajax had planned to postpone the season start after their relegation was brought into doubt when Judge Denise Fisher ruled in favour of the Cape Town side's Tendai and Dora case. And the new PSL season will now indeed kick off next Saturday with the big guns in action, Sundowns, Chiefs and Pirates all taking to the field. And then in cycling, stage 18 of the Tour de France took place yesterday, and it saw France's Arnaud Démare crossing the line first after a sprint finish. Démare completed the flat 171-kilometre stage in 3 hours, 46 minutes and 50 seconds, just ahead of fellow Frenchman Christophe Laporte. And the South African Theunis Janse van Rensburg finished the stage in 14th place, flying that flag. That's where we leave our sport for now.
More than a club, more than an appliance brand. Defy.
Well, let's take another look at your roads. In KwaZulu-Natal, there's protest action currently on the N3 eastbound. It's before Market Road, currently blocking all lanes, so please make use of an alternative route. Then in the Western Cape, in Bellville, on the N1 inbound, there's a stationary vehicle. It's after Sable Road, and the emergency lane has been blocked, so please proceed with caution. I'll bring you another update in half an hour.
Book flights from 499 Rand, only on Travelstart.co.za.
Just after 7 o'clock, thank you very much, Zoe. Let's quickly take another look at your weather and your temperatures. And heavy rains and flooding is expected for the Western Cape today. We've already seen a couple of drops fall in the Sea Point area, but also warnings have been issued for the Oeverberg region, and thunder and lightning will also be present over the Western Cape for the next 24 hours. For the rest of the country, especially up north, you can expect nice and warm temperatures. Let's run you through Polokwane starting off on 6 in minimum, reaching a high of 23 degrees. Mbombela 11.28. Pretoria 8 and a high of 21. Johannesburg 6.20. Mahikeng 6.24, Klerksdorp 4 and a high of 23, Kimberley 3.24, Bloemfontein around 0 this morning, warming up to 22, Richards Bay 16.29, Pietermaritzburg 10.28, Durban 18.25, Mthatha on 9 minimum, your maximum 28, East London 11 and a maximum 29, and some rain expected, Cradock 7.22, Port Elizabeth 9.20, George 8 this morning with a maximum 16, Sutherland 1 and a high of 10, staying cool with some scattered showers expected, Cape Town 8.17, Worcester 6.14, Springbok 6 and a high of 15, and Uppington starting off on 5, reaching a high of 22 degrees. It's a wrap of your weather and your temperatures for the 7 o'clock bulletin. I'm back in half an hour's time, just after 7:30.
Thank you so much, Ewan. Now I'm going to ask you a very important question, and I really want you to take the time to think about this. Are you giving back and making a difference in the world around you? You might be supporting a charity or foundation close to your heart, or maybe you're giving back to the less fortunate. I hope you are doing something, but whatever it is, no matter how small or big, you are making a difference in the world, and most importantly, to someone else's life. Well, at Expresso, our family have chosen to help make a big difference in the lives of children living with cancer. We are helping the incredible organization that is CHOC, the Childhood Cancer Foundation, raise funds, much needed funds, towards buying a brand new home away from home for cancer patients and their families. Now, CHOC aims to ease the burden by providing access to relevant information, as well as, and this is the most important part, emotional and practical support. You cannot believe how much these families go through. So each of us can make a difference, but together we can make a massive change, and we are providing the path for you, making it easy. Therefore, we would love for you to get involved, please. We've made it so easy for you to donate. You can donate through SnapScan, Zapper, BackaBuddy, or just simply through an EFT. We all know how to use these platforms. But for more information, go to our Expresso Facebook page or expressoshow.com. Even just 10 Rand is going to help us get there, and what a goal.
Every day that brave young kids and their families battle cancer, the CHOC Childhood Cancer Foundation supports them. And here at Expresso, we'd love you to help us fund their newest CHOC home in Pretoria. You can donate through SnapScan, Zapper, Back-A-Buddy or direct EFT. Go to the Expresso website or tune into Expresso for more details.
Well, we are taking a quick break on your Feel Good Breakfast show. When we get back, we're going to take a look at ways for healthy snacking ideas for kids. I love a good snack.
Absolutely. And then we need to take a look at what's happening in the world of tech news. How will 5G work? We unpack all that and more coming up after the break.
It's tough getting up in the morning. That's why for breakfast, I'm making eggs Benedict. Get it? I just love a good food pun. Share your photo and recipe of your favorite winter dish with the hashtag #ForTheLoveOfWinter, and you could win 5,000 Rand in weekly prizes and stand a chance to win a grand prize of 100,000 Rand. Rhodes quality for the love of winter.
Rise and shine with your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast show.
Just follow that funky beat all the way to your TV screen. Welcome back. You're live with Expresso. Time for your weekly tech roundup with expert, aficionado, Theunis Janse van Rensburg. And today we revisit a technology that we spoke about a few months back. Is it here? We will find out. 5G has been in the news again, and today we are taking a closer look at how the technology is actually going to work. And I say work, hopefully. Theunis, welcome, my friend.
Thank you.
5G, is this the fifth dimension? What's going on? Where do we stand? First of all, what's the difference between 4G and 5G? Just refresh our memories.
Well, other than obviously the speed that your phone will be connecting to the network with, the fundamental technology that underpins it is quite different. So for the first time since 2G, essentially, the technology that's going to enable these amazing speeds is quite different than your LTE 4G networks that we're using now.
Does this mean a big shift in infrastructure?
Definitely. There's going to be a lot of kind of infrastructure needing to be laid again. The towers will be different. The hardware in your phone will be different to connect to those networks. So the infrastructure is going to be, a rollout over a couple of years.
Now, when you say the hardware in our phone, does this mean we need to get new phones, or do we need to get upgrades on our phones or updates on our phones? How will this kind of meet the market in that commercial space?
Yeah, so you'll definitely have to have a brand new type of phone. Your hardware will need to be quite different. So essentially, your processors need to be different because they need to handle those bands that the network will be on, and then it'll need to be able to obviously process those radio waves and use the internet. Essentially, it's going to be quite different than your current technology.
How much faster are we talking here? Because this seems like a bit of a quantum leap when you talk about the kind of shift.
So everybody thought 3G to 4G was a huge jump, and yes, it was. But we are looking at an average speed on 5G of about 1.5 gigabits per second. So it's about 20 times faster than your fastest 4G network at this point in time.
Are we going to see the death of the PC? What do you see this meaning in the grand scheme of things in terms of what we do on our smartphones. And we've already seen a big shift in what someone like, for instance, Samsung, did away with laptops to focus on smartphone. Is this why they're doing this? Because so much more of our processing capability is coming to bear on our smartphones?
Look, I don't think it's going to affect your current ways of doing things. It's just going to affect how you do those things. So essentially the technology is so different that they're still kind of figuring out. So we're expecting the first phones with 5G to come up next year. And then by 2020, hopefully all of us will have 5G connected phones. It's going to change the way you use your devices, because you'll be able to connect, for example, your VR headset will be able to show you live 4K streams. Your computer will obviously be connected a lot faster, your phones, laptops. Essentially, it's enabling a world where everything is always connected.
So what you're saying is we're approaching the singularity. The singularity is there, it is looming.
The internet singularity is coming.
It sounds good to me, buddy. Normally our tech chats terrify me, but this one actually really does make me excited. You can let us know what you think about this quantum leap in processing power and speed in our hands. At Expresso Show is the handle to use. Now we're going to shift lanes completely. Amy Hopkins is returning to talk to us about maintaining everyday fitness and how to stay on track with the right nutrition before and after those workouts.
So whether you are looking to boost your performance, to lose or gain weight, or re-energize after a strenuous workout, remember that nutrition and exercise go hand in hand. Now, having a healthy breakfast like jungle oats in the morning before or after exercising is a wonderful choice. It's made from 100% whole grain oats, high in fiber, assists in heart wellness, and also low in GI. So you'll have loads of long-lasting energy during and after your workout. Now, here with some more advice on nutrition and retaining fitness is Amy Hopkins. Amy, thank you very much once again for joining us.
Good morning.
Yes, diet and exercise is one of those massive topics. Some say 80% diet, 20% exercise. If you really want to see results and gains.
I'm a good 50-50. You've got to give as much healthy food as you give effort to your exercise. I believe, especially for me, I'm a big fan of exercise. As you know, I have a lot of different sports, running, cycling, yoga. And in order to keep up that lifestyle, fueling your body properly is really important. So I'm not so much about calorie restriction, but obviously if you are looking to really lose weight, then you do need to try and measure what you put in versus how much effort you're putting out. But the biggest thing for me is not to get fatigued. So obviously you need to make sure that you're putting in the right kind of nutrients, like your good fiber that'll give you energy throughout the day, your protein, which is obviously really good for recovery. And if I'm doing something like more endurance sports, so for example, a really long cycle or a bit of a long run, so anything that's more than an hour, hour and a half, I recommend you eat something before the time. So try and eat almost an hour before you actually go out. And then I would do something like a small bit of overnight oats with maybe a little bit of banana, cinnamon, maybe a spoon of nut butter for extra protein. I love it, it's delicious. And I just find that kind of keeps me fueled for the next 3 to 4 hours even. And then if you're doing something like a quick gym session, you need a bit of recovery. If you're like me, you also get a bit hungry after you've worked out. So I'll do something like a good protein smoothie, but also some good sort of fiber content. So you can do something like put your oats into your smoothie and have that afterwards. If it's a bit later in the day, something like a beautiful piece of fish with some salad, even a bit of good whole grain rice or some lentils or something like that is a good option.
How big are you on breakfast specifically with regards to getting all the right nutrients? Because we are talking about jungle oats here.
Yes,
I mean, that's my go-to breakfast because I start very early in the mornings and I need energy that can sustain me throughout the day, even going into workout a little bit later on as well.
Absolutely. I'm definitely big on breakfast. I can't go without it. I find my work day is terribly interrupted if I don't eat breakfast. And because I try and do a lot of exercise in the morning just to kind of get it over and done with, I'm often hungry, need to make sure that I get that fuel, those nutrients. So I probably eat oats at least 4 times a week, and then sometimes I eat eggs, for example, on the weekend. But I find having something like oats as a part of my morning routine is really helpful because I keep some at work, actually. So if I happen to have a busy morning where I go straight to work out and then have to quickly rush to get to the office, I then make my breakfast at work, and it's really easy to keep. Otherwise, I try and have a bit before I actually start my day.
Now, look, you are an incredibly busy person, not only in your work life, but with regards to your exercise. We've just kind of had a little bit of roundup as to what you actually keep yourself busy with. But and I'm kind of scared to ask this question because I'm going to sit here till tomorrow morning. But what does a day in the life of Amy look like in a nutshell, Amy?
So I'll keep it brief. So as I said before, I try and get my exercise done in the morning just because When it comes to evening, I'm always a little bit tired after a long day at the office, and I often have a lot of events and things like that as well. So what I'll do is wake up at around 6-ish, so I try and get up around then. In winter, obviously, it's a little bit later. In summer, sometimes I'm up at about 5:30 or a bit earlier because the sun's up earlier. And I then try and have something small to eat before I go exercise. And I'll do something like go out for a run. At the moment, I'm doing a bit of sprint work, so that's really hard on the body and tiring.
Yeah.
And then I come back, get ready for work, and then I'll often have a quick breakfast then, just a better breakfast, should I say, like a bit more solid to actually get me through the day. And that way, my favorite combination is 1 chopped banana, a bowl of oats with some nut butter. I love adding a bit of cinnamon. Sometimes I add extra chia seeds as well, a bit of coconut, that's my new favorite. And then in summer, I like adding berries because they're in season.
Yeah.
And then go to work, often have a very big day with, it's pretty much like let's call it a 9 to 5, sometimes to 6. And usually it's a combination of meetings, sometimes food shoots, planning content, writing online, just, all of that. For lunch, I'll generally have a salad. I always pack lunch for work. So I'll either pack something that I've had the night before, so I tend to make extra or do a bit of meal prep on the weekends. And then I'll have that for lunch. And then in the evenings, sometimes I have functions, after work functions. I know you have a lot of events as well. But if I don't, I try and get in a yoga session because it's a nice way to just kind of get that zen and calm, reset yourself for the next, so you can also have that evening time to just
That is a day. Amy, thank you. I don't know about you guys, but I'm absolutely starving right now. I definitely need to get a bowl of breakfast in right now. Amy, thanks again for coming in and just giving us all some fresh ideas on how to boost your energy levels through proper nutrition and diet.
South Africa's original oat champion now has a range of nutritious, delicious muesli. New Jungle Muesli, available in an exciting variety of flavors.
Well, we love a healthy lifestyle on your Feel Good Breakfast show, and kids are often the hardest to prepare food for. And when it comes to snacking, the mission becomes even harder. The trouble is finding the perfect balance between healthy and nutritious and tasty. Registered dietitian Megan Pentz-Kluyts, she is here to educate us and teach us how to tackle this situation. Megan, good morning.
Good morning, nice to be here.
It's so great to have you here. I'm a huge snacker. I love snacks, but when it comes to preparing snacks for kids, can you go about it the way you would do it for an adult?
Well, I would say yes, but the most important thing to remember is that children are still growing.
Okay.
And with growing, you need more energy. And very often you've also got children today with really hectic schedules, sports schedules, after extramural activities. So they need more energy.
Yes.
And remember, very often when we're growing, our tummies are slightly smaller as we continue to grow. So it's more important to add nutritional food that is going to add value in terms of vitamins and minerals and, energy, nutrients and stuff. So we need to be a bit more careful about what we add in.
Okay, just to tick those boxes. Now, when it comes to, sandwiches and bread, I love my sandwiches growing up, especially in my lunchbox. What is the appropriate amount of the number of slices of bread a kid should have while growing up?
Okay, that's a good question because in actual fact, we've got the South African guidelines for healthy eating, and that's from the age of 5 and up. And the recommendations really do actually play a role in terms of activity. But what the suggestion is that we do make starch, part of most meals. And in terms of quantities, we're looking at a starch quantity, so not so much a bread.
Okay.
So you're looking at between 5 to 10 portions a day, depending on age, depending on activity. And that'll include things like your bread, like your cereals, like your pasta, etc. But for most people, it's a lovely portable option. So, a lunchbox at break time, a lunch at, if it's at school. So you're looking between probably about 4 to 6 slices depending on the child's activity level each day.
Okay, so when you say like the portion levels of starch between 5 and 10, how many slices would qualify as one portion?
One slice.
One slice,
yes,
okay.
Yes.
Keeping that in mind.
And that's equivalent to like half a cup of rice or half a cup of potato, etc.
It's very important to know
yes.
the food groups.
It is.
And when it comes to healthy, filling options for your sandwiches, I tend to be sometimes very boring, peanut butter and jam. But there are more and there are healthier options, which would you recommend?
Yes. Well, you know, Sasko's got a great range just in terms of their breads. And what I really like about it is they've got different flavors that they've now added into some of them, like cranberries and rooibos, etc. So that adds really nice variety, you know, into the lunchbox. And what you're wanting to do is you've got your starch now, so you want to bring into the lunchbox something with a bit of protein. So here we've got some nice options, just your easy peanut butter. But remember, today we do get the peanut butter without the sugar added, and go for that one. That's a great option. You can, of course, also add just something simple like some cheese and tomato. Very often people say to me, you know, the tomato makes it a bit soggy. So if you're going to do that, be clever and actually just put a slice of lettuce or something down, and then put your cheese and your tomato, and then it keeps it, you know, fresher for longer. Another great one is just your tuna mayonnaise, and also chicken mayonnaise or egg mayonnaise.
Okay.
And don't forget, very often the night before we've got some leftovers, and those can make great fillings as well for the kids.
Just cut the meat off the bone, add it to the sandwich. Oh, you're making me hungry. Now, for the kids, I mean, exams are coming up pretty soon again, and for the kids that need a higher level of concentration, what snacking ideas is great for them?
Okay, well, the most important thing when it comes to concentration is we want our brains basically use its main energy fuel source is glucose.
Yeah.
So that's what you're going to find, you know, in your grains, and your grains contain vitamin B. So you want a low GI, in other words, sustaining the energy throughout the day. They must eat regularly. So I'd always suggest, you know, have something available in the fridge, put it in a lunchbox in the fridge. So when they get to snacking, those are one of their first go-to options. And then definitely when it comes to the fillings, not only do you have the bread with the B vitamins, but if you add something with a bit of protein. So you can even add a little bit of biltong with a little bit of avo, which is nice. So that's a great, nice, easy combo. Your tuna mayonnaise comes up again. Put that in the fridge, and eating that on a regular basis will actually sustain them and the concentration, because it's the B vitamins, it's the energy that they require.
Everything that you need. Now, Megan, I know we're running out of time, but when it comes to supplements, what is your take on that for children?
Okay, so firstly, it's the word supplement. It doesn't take the place of a good diet.
Okay.
So we need to always make sure that there's a little bit of balance. And that really brings in looking at your balance, which would be something like your starch as part of your meal. You would then definitely add in your protein, be it chicken or fish, or something like a vegetarian hummus, for example.
Okay.
And then you would have something like your fat, be it avocado or, definitely your olive oils or canola oils. And don't forget your fruit and vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
And once you've got that as a basis and you're adding in a little bit of milk or cheese as part of your dairy for the bones, then only you can look at a basic supplement. And then we're saying something like a basic multivitamin, multi-mineral supplement that's age appropriate.
Okay. Well, Megan, thank you for imparting your knowledge on us and for joining us this morning. And if you need more inspiration, why not make a change and start preparing some healthy snacks for your family? And if you're looking for some delicious recipes, why not visit Sasko's website? That's sasco.co.za.
Sasko, baking together since 1930.
Thank you very much, Zoe, for that very interesting advice. Healthy eating, very, very important, especially when it comes to the young ones. We're going to be taking a very quick break, but it's an historic moment for all of us, I think, tonight with the lunar eclipse happening. It's called a blood moon, and we might see it tonight. It's definitely happening here in Cape Town, also in Joburg. You'll be able to see it in full view. Hopefully the clouds will clear a little bit and we can able to watch it.
Another historic moment is going to be happening as we put out a last call for Mr. South Africa contestants, and JP Robberts is here to tell us more. I can't wait. It's going to be amazing.
It's tough getting up in the morning. That's why for breakfast, I'm making eggs Benedict. Get it? I just love a good food put. Share your photo and recipe of your favorite winter dish with the hashtag #ForTheLoveOfWinter, and you could win 5,000 Rand in weekly prizes and stand a chance to win a grand prize of 100,000 Rand. Rhodes quality for the love of winter.
Rise and shine with your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso.
It's my feel
Follow those freaky sounds. It's time to enter the final frontier. Now, you may have heard on social media by now that tonight the world is about to share and experience an incredible cosmic event. It's a full lunar eclipse, and what makes this one so special is that it will apparently glow red. Here to fill us on is outreach astronomer Dr. Daniel Cunnama. Dan,
good morning.
Big night for you.
Yeah, it's going to be a late night.
There's Mars, there's the moon. They're just so close. This is awesome. Celestial events like this are awesome because we get to experience it together as a planet. A blood moon. What is going on?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, basically the moon tonight will be moving into the Earth's shadow, and it's going to spend over an hour and a half there, so an hour and 43 minutes in the shadow completely. So it'll turn very, very red, again, because of, in the same way that the sunset is red, the light is scattering through the Earth's atmosphere and onto the moon, so it doesn't go completely dark. But yeah, we'll be able to see it across most of the Earth. North America, Greenland won't be able to see it, but Australia, Africa, South America, and parts of Europe.
North America, Greenland, they get their own celestial events all the time, So let's own this one. How often does this happen? Because there's so much buzz around this that it seems like this is something quite special.
Yeah, so lunar eclipses are fairly common. You get 2 or 3 a year. But one that is a total lunar eclipse where it passes completely into the Earth's shadow like this, and for this length of time, is really quite special. And then again, like the last one in 2015 was at like 4 a.m. in the morning, whereas this peaks at about 9:30.
Prime time,
It's prime time, yeah. So everyone can be up and looking, and it'll be wonderful.
I don't know if this is a silly question. What's the best way to view this?
So yeah, I mean, for a total eclipse, you obviously need to protect your eyes. For a lunar eclipse, it's no different to looking at the moon normally. So you can just go out, have a look. If you have binoculars, look with binoculars. If you have a telescope, we'll actually be setting up telescopes if you're in Cape Town at the waterfront.
Oh, cool.
So come along and yeah.
Hopefully everyone will turn their lights off. I mean, if you're out in the Karoo, that'd be a good opportunity to go and see it. How big is the moon? How close is the moon to the Earth at the moment? How big is the moon likely to be tonight?
So I mean, it's not a particularly large moon at the moment. It's actually almost a mini moon. But I mean, it's still the difference in the moon size is minor. The color will be spectacular. But as you mentioned earlier, Mars is very close at the moment. So Mars is the biggest it's going to be in the next 17 years or so, and it'll be just next to the moon. So there's really a lot to see tonight.
So if you're on the astrology side of things, I would imagine tonight is don't shake your head. Don't shake it. When is your birthday? What star sign are you? What star sign are you? Tell me right now. Yeah, I bet he's going to go look at the newspaper right now. So I know this is a very special opportunity for you guys in the astronomy field because it gets people excited about the field. So congratulations, if that's something that you say on a night like this.
We predicted it. It's going to happen.
You nailed it, man. You nailed this one. But I would invite everyone, especially those of you with children out there, this is a great opportunity to inspire a new generation about this incredible, the heavens above us, an opportunity to see a celestial event with the naked eye, or go down to the waterfront and view it if you can through those telescopes. It's going to be an awesome, awesome celestial opportunity as well. Let's get back into the news headlines.
In the national news, leaders of the BRICS countries have signed a declaration supporting an open and inclusive multilateral trading system at their summit meeting in Sandton. They found common ground championing global trade and condemning protectionist measures. The National Union of Metal Workers of South Africa has won its battle against labour brokers in the court. On the international front, tonight is going to be a big night for astronomy in much of Africa with the longest lunar eclipse, the so-called blood moon eclipse, in a century. It will last from 24 minutes past 8 to just after midnight. And then finally, former ace cricketer Imran Khan, who captained Pakistan to the World Cup victory in 1992, has claimed victory in Pakistan's election amid accusations of vote rigging by rivals. Well, that was your 7:30 news update. I'll have a full bulletin for you at the top of the hour.
Rugby first, all eyes, of course, will be on the Lions tomorrow as they tackle the Waratahs in the Super Rugby semi-finals. Kick-off in Johannesburg at 5 minutes past 3 in the afternoon. In cricket, the Proteas will look to bounce back from their test defeat to Sri Lanka when the teams face off in the first of 5 ODIs on Sunday. That game getting underway at 6:15 in the morning, South African time. In soccer, Ajax Cape Town have now withdrawn their interdict to halt the start of the new PSL season, meaning that next week's matches will go ahead as scheduled. And in cycling, a thrilling stage 18 of the Tour de France took place yesterday, and it saw France's Arnaud Demare crossing the line first, South Africa's Janse van Rensburg finishing in 14th place. We'll cover more of those headlines on the top of the hour. Right now, let's take a look at the roads.
Well, let's take another look at your roads for this morning. There are some delays. Slow-moving traffic can be found coming into town on the N1 inbound. There's also in Gauteng, in Redruth, there's slow-moving traffic. This is in Tulisa Park on the R59 northbound between the Reading Interchange and South Rand Road, and that's due to an earlier accident. I'll have another update for you in half an hour.
Quality fuel, convenience, and service with a smile. Whether it's to fuel up or stock up, Caltex, it's how you get there.
Let's quickly take another look at your weather and your temperatures going into your Friday morning. And heavy rains and also flooding has been expected or forecast for the Western Cape, and also warnings issued for the Oeverberg region. And thunder and lightning will also be present over the Western Cape over the next 24 hours. For the rest of the country, especially up north, you can expect warm maximums going into your Friday. Polokwane today, 6 minimum with a maximum of 23 degrees. Mbombela, 11:28, nice and warm. Pretoria, 8:21. Johannesburg, 6 and a high of 20. Mahikeng, 6:24. Klerksdorp 4 this morning with a maximum 23. Kimberley 3:24. Bloemfontein around 0, nice and cold, but then warming up to 22. Richards Bay 16:29. Pietermaritzburg 10 and a high of 28. Durban 18:25. Mthatha 9:28. East London 11:29. Cradock 7 this morning with a maximum 22. Port Elizabeth 9:20. George 8 and a high of 16. Sutherland 1 minimum staying cold with a maximum 10 degrees. Cape Town 8:17. Worcester 6:14. Springbok 6 and a high of 15. And Uppington starting off on 5, reaching a high of 22 degrees. That's a wrap of your weather and your temperatures for the 7:30 bulletin. A final update heading your way just after 8.
Well, it's time for us to hang out with the one, the only CEO of Mr. South Africa, JP Robberts, in the house. I love it. We're just having you here more and more these days.
I know, this is becoming a weekly thing.
We're available. We're here for it. How are you?
I'm fantastic. You look great.
Thank you so much. Well, we did make an effort because we knew that you're coming. And of course, Mr. South Africa is one of my favorite competitions. Of course, because it has everything.
Everything
and more. Listen, let's talk about one of my favorite segments. We have to talk about our Dipper Oma, right? Mm-hmm. This is our Dipper Oma wall. I don't know if you've seen it. We've had a whole ton of celebrities and interesting people show us how they dip their Oma. Okay. But before we do that, it is winter. We all need to get into some comfort food every now and then. You look the way you look. Do you ever just indulge in comfort food from time to time?
I look the way I do because I eat the way I do, which is like everything.
Really? So you're on a seafood diet. You see food and you eat it.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. When it comes to Oma rusks, what is your favorite flavor?
I definitely have to say the caramel one.
Okay.
This is not the...
This is the currant milk.
Oh,
GDD also loves the buttermilk.
Fantastic.
You have buttermilk?
Yeah.
You're about this life? I am a muesli girl, unashamedly.
Oh, really?
Yes. All right. So let's get down to that moment that we're all wanting to know.
Okay.
How does JP Robberts dip his Oma?
I don't normally have a Leanne at home, so I'm going to try this. Can I ask you to pick that one up?
Okay,
your
cool.
mug?
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
So pretty much like you would do, keep it in that hand.
Okay.
And then I'll give you one.
Okay, cool. Oh, wow.
Simply because I don't have a favorite way to dip a Oma, but I only get this opportunity once.
Look at you!
I only get to do this once, and on TV.
What is it called?
Let's call it the Leanne Dipper Oma.
The Leanne Dipper Oma. I am here for this. Thank you so much.
Go.
What happens next? Do we just...
Yeah, let's do that.
Very, very, very romantic.
And I was kind of picturing you when you walked over and I saw you were wearing white, and I just kind of thought to myself, don't mess on her. And it's not like I can do this with one of the guys.
No, definitely. It would take on a whole different meaning. But thank you for the Leanne dip. Is that a Leanne dip?
It's a Leanne
dip. That,
Dipper
ladies
Oma.
and gentlemen, is Leanne dip. So we should probably go somewhere else because I might just propose to JP any minute now. Can we try that again?
Let's do that.
Okay,
Let's do that.
Oh, I like this.
Leanne Dipper Oma.
Hello.
TM.
Cozy up this winter and Dipper Oma.
Well, we are taking a very quick break on your Feel Good Breakfast show. JP Robberts still with us, and we are going to take a look at that last call for Mr. South Africa.
And then Stop the Car, the International Steel Pan and Marimba Festival is here, and we're going to give you a front row seat. We'll see you after the break.
When I think of Nelson Mandela, I think of reconciliation. I think of the power of forgiveness and how something so small can make such a big impact on all of us. One man's point of view had the power to uplift and change communities around the entire world.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast show. It's Expresso, and you're just in time as we're about to catch up with what our international stars have been up to in international entertainment news.
Absolutely. Well, everybody's talking about Demi Lovato sending her get well messages and recovery messages. Well, apparently her team tried to stage an intervention and get help for her drug addiction problem, but the singer blew them off, according to reports. Now, sources close to Demi says that members of her team noticed that she was in a very bad place a few weeks ago and even confronted her about it and offered assistance to get her back to sobriety. However, the intervention attempt was not successful. Demi refused and continued to party instead. Other sources said that she tried to make it seem like everything was okay, but her struggle became obvious shortly before Tuesday's overdose. So, yeah.
It's a very scary situation that Demi's in. I mean, addiction is real, and I think she's got a lot of work to do, and unfortunately, it's a very public one she's got to recover from.
Yeah,
so hopefully she can take a break, you know, heal herself, and hopefully...
But now that it's out there, I think even us as her fans will require that of her before she comes back to the stage. Well, on a lighter side of things, singer and actress Selena Gomez celebrated her 26th birthday on Sunday, and it was a party that no one wanted to miss out. It was on a yacht in Newport Beach, California. Now, the crazy thing about this is that after the birthday, Selena shared a few pics on Instagram on Monday, and guess what? She managed to beat Beyonce's record of getting 1 million likes for a post. Of course, the fastest doing so within 13 minutes of the post being shared. I mean, people are recording this, you guys. Another year down. So thank you to, of course, all of the
So she got 1 million
B-Day
likes in 13 minutes, and she had all her clothes on.
Thank you. I love that. Well done, Zoe, for putting it out there.
Had to put that
no
out there.
need to thirst trap out there to get 1 million likes in 13 minutes. Just saying.
Well, she's also the most followed person on Instagram, so it's no wonder she broke that record. Very interesting.
Wonderful. Well done. I like that one. Come
on. There we go. Listen, last night's episode of Presenter Search saw the top 6 jet off to probably one of the most beautiful island locations that I've seen, Reunion Island, which is the most gorgeous location. And everyone was expecting an elimination, but no one was eliminated. So all 6 contestants will be going through to the finale, and I can't wait for that final episode to take place. And it's taking place next week, Thursday, and I cannot believe that we are just 1 week away from finding out who's going to be joining us here on your Feel Good Breakfast show.
I'm taking you all to Reunion Island.
This Thursday, Presenter Search on 3 goes international as the remaining 6 contestants jet off to Reunion. Follow their adventures on this volcanic island in the heart of the Indian Ocean. Catch all the drama with Presenter Search on 3, Thursday night at 7:30 on SABC3. Repeat Saturday at 12 midday. The stage is yours.
Enjoy a moment in between with McCafe.
Time is getting closer to find out who will be joining us right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. So make sure you stick with us and don't miss a step of that exciting journey. Right now, though, if you're looking for something to do, maybe this weekend, and if you're in Joburg looking for something fun, why not visit the International Marimba and Steel Pan Festival that's happening at the St. Dominic's School in Boksburg, and that's now tomorrow and also on Sunday. Now, Chola was lucky enough to catch up with a marimba band from Carter Primary School in Alexandra that will be competing in the festival, but it sure sounds like a whole lot of fun going into this weekend.
This weekend will see the 7th annual International Marimba and Steel Pan Festival bring together 2,000 performers from across the African continent. 250 performances will take place between Saturday and Sunday, and the event will also pay tribute to former President Nelson Mandela. Joan, tell me when and how did this festival come about?
Well, in 2012, I started the festival. I had done 6 national marimba festivals and felt that I needed to go international, and Education Africa was way behind me, and so that's what happened.
What can people expect to experience come the weekend?
People expect to experience marimba bands playing non-stop for 2 whole days. People can come to watch and take part in 90 workshops in the fringe events.
Tell me about the Pinky Band that we've been so privileged to hear perform today.
Pinky Band is an amazing band. I took them on an overseas trip to the UK. They have an inspiring teacher who works with them non-stop, and you can see the results of what they've done. They're one of our top bands in the Gauteng area.
With Ms. Mukhari, who's responsible for grooming all these young marimba players, and it must be such a pleasant experience grooming such young talent. How is it like, Mukhari?
So wonderful, and the first time that I taught these children, it was so nice. We cannot wait to go to the festival because we know that we are going to meet all these ethnic groups, all the people who are going to show us their talents, and we are going to show them our talents, and then we are going to show them that Pinky Band rocks.
I started playing marimba in 2016 when I was doing grade 6. I enjoyed seeing children from a township playing music, so I also wanted to prove it to other people that children from township like us can also play music like children from academical schools.
When I first saw it, I was like impressed because it was my first time seeing this amazing instrument.
When I started seeing marimba and seeing other learners doing it, I started having an interest.
At first I was scared, but because of I knew some people there, I started being confident and playing marimba, and we went to the festival.
You'll also be honoring the late President Nelson Mandela at this year's festival. How exactly will you be doing so?
Well, I've written a piece of music for the massed marimba and steel pan item, which takes place at 1:15 on Saturday afternoon. Piece of music is called Mandela Speaks, and it is about his quotes about music, and we'll have all the marimbas and steel pan players on the floor learning a brand new piece of music in 40 minutes, and we'll also have a whole djembe ensemble joining us.
How do people go about getting tickets to the event?
So they can come directly to the gate at St. Dominic's School in Boksburg in Kruger Street, and the tickets are 200 Rand for the whole weekend for a full weekend passport, which allows you to attend all the workshops you wish to do, as well as seeing all the amazing performances.
As the festival director, what are you looking most forward to this year?
I'm looking forward to that spirit of Ubuntu. You have to be there to understand what that's all about. It's not about the competitions, it's not about anything, it's about South African children getting together and making music together and showing the world and showing South Africa what South Africa could really be like in a truly democratic country.
I must say I'm really blown away by the level of talent I've got to experience here today. So many young stars in the making. And if you want to experience this and more at the festival this Saturday and Sunday, don't forget to get your tickets. Let's all share in the spirit of beautiful marimba music.
are some exciting things. Now, when we look to competitions like Miss South Africa and Mrs. South Africa, that's to find the global ambassadors that will put South Africa's best foot forward. Now, we are also represented by a Mr. South Africa, and the entries for which are about to close is coming up. The deadline is this coming Tuesday, the 31st of July. So if you think you could be the next Mr. South Africa, then sit up and take note, because this morning we are joined by the new owner and CEO of the competition, JP Robberts, who is Mr. South Africa's second Prince 2017. Congratulations on that.
Thank you so much.
Fantastic title.
I love that, JP. Thank you very much, man. Nice to see you. Yeah, from a second Prince, Mr. South Africa, you've walked your own journey. You went through all of those challenges. You did what you needed to do to come where you are now. But you've taken on this brand new role as the CEO. Why the new direction?
Well, it's a simple mentality. You don't go to a shoemaker to fix your car, and you don't enter a pageant which is run by somebody that hasn't been in one themselves. So I kind of think my experience from when I was in the competition, I identified things that could have been improved on, that could have been done better, things that could have supported me better from a brand perspective in my own career. And that's kind of why I took over it, because it was the launching platform for my career, and I want to be able to give that opportunity to other guys.
I'm quite intrigued to find out what are some of the changes that you will be implementing to the competition.
So there's quite a big number of changes. Traditionally, for example, a specific challenge would have been aimed at a specific charity, where the first change that I brought in, every challenge that we do that does have a financial aspect to it, whatever we donate to charity gets divided up equally among our 3 charities. Okay, that is one of the first things, just to ensure fairness. We don't have a set measuring criteria or entering criteria. So, for example, you could put Ian and me against each other, and I would still be able to stand a chance against him.
Whatever.
But the biggest change is probably the prizes that has been brought in. So, like you can see, this is a little bit outdated. Ever since I took over, 3 months later, our total prizes were standing at 360,000. But my team and I just managed to secure 2 all-expenses-paid trips to Istanbul for my winner and one of my contestants. There it is, right
Zoe,
there.
don't you wish you were a guy right now so you can enter, because she loves Istanbul. You can see.
We'll have to take you with.
Listen, from the perspective of being a former prince, having walked through that journey as well, what do you feel it takes to be a Mr. South Africa? And I think on the back of that, let's say somebody, like, I'm super busy, all right? And let's say I want to enter, and I think a lot of guys have the same question. Do you need to have a lot of time available to go through the process?
No, actually, as a matter of fact, you don't. And specifically with some of our challenges building up to the finals of Mr. South Africa, one of the rules in the challenges is, depending on the challenge, that it's not allowed to take more than 20 minutes to an hour out of your day. Obviously, the bigger challenges takes a little bit more. Yeah. But I just want to set that record straight. It's not a case of you have to quit your job or you have to dedicate half of your day to this. So no, it doesn't take that much time out of your day.
But what type of guy are you looking for then, essentially?
Essentially somebody that wants to make a difference, somebody that wants to launch their career but also give back to their community and that wants to do good.
Okay. Now, for all the prospective contestants that want to enter, I mean, the entries are closing on Tuesday, the 31st of July. How can they enter?
Right there.
The easiest would be to go onto the website, which is www.anewmrsa.co.za, and it kind of sounds like we're pressing to get guys in and out, but that was really from a new branding perspective. Yeah. The alternative would be to find us on Facebook or just send us an email at info@anewmrsa.co.za, and myself or one of the teams will pick it up. Because I am that CEO that actually responds to me by myself.
That's good,
not a
JP.
Genetic response.
No, listen, thank you very much for joining us, and I wish you all the best in this new journey with the new direction that the brand is taking as well. We're going to really follow you closely to see exactly what is happening, and also welcome, I'm sure, some of that new Mrs. South Africa hopefuls here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show as well. All the best, JP.
Thank you so
very much.
Guys.
So like you've mentioned, those entries close this coming Tuesday, the 31st of July. That whole process kicks off, is just around the corner. But if you want to enter, the website to go to is a new mrsouthafrica.co.za.
So after the break, we're going to give you the opportunity to travel South Africa in style and on a budget. Then we are asking the question, are they rock stars? Are they angels? Are they a bunch of unruly students? We just don't know. They are, without a doubt, one of the most talented outfits we've ever had on the show. And you have no idea the discipline it's taken to keep them quiet while we are doing things in the rest of the studio. I'm going to say, Princess, I need 69 cappuccinos and 1 espresso for the drum player, please. The Stellenbosch University Choir is here.
It comes in my head like God. Just going grab and I just sound check. God, yes. Sound check.
Everyone needs to stop talking.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Happy birthday, a very happy birthday to you.
It's your birthday. Yep, it's Friday. It's the 27th of July. Am I right?
Yes, it is the 27th.
Yes, just making sure. Of course, every day, millions of people around the globe celebrate their birthdays. So we quickly take a moment and wish some of you a happy birthday.
That's right. And there's a couple of celebs that's also celebrating their birthday. And today marks the 49th birthday of WWE superstar and actor Paul Michael Levesque, better known by his ring name Triple H.
You got it in the WWE. Nice. Also on the 27th of July is the birthday of actress Taylor Schilling, star of the hit Netflix show Orange is the New Black, for which she has gained 2 Golden Globe nominations. So happy birthday to her.
Excellent things. And then, of course, our viewer, a very happy birthday to Priska, who's turning 37 today.
Looking all fabulous.
Oh,
hey,
gorgeous.
Priska, happy birthday. Happy birthday. Thank you very much. Well, that's our bite-sized dose of this day with regards to birthdays, the 27th of July. If it is your birthday, let us know. Tweet us at Expresso Show with the hashtag Expresso Show as well, and include a photo.
Now, it's going to feel like it's your birthday today because we're going to bring you another remarkable performance by the multi-award-winning choir that is the Stellenbosch University Choir. They are an amazing group of young people and they're here to perform just for you. It's in fact the Lord's Prayer in Swahili, Baba Yetu.
Baba yetu yetu liye mbinguni yetu yetu, amina. Baba yetu yetu liye, jina lako litukuzwe. Baba yetu yetu liye mbinguni, Baba yetu, amina. Baba yetu yetu, jina lako litukuzwe. Utupe leo chakula chetu, tunachohitaji kutusamehe makosa yetu. Hey!
Majaribu, majaribu, kama nasi majaribu, majaribu, chocolate, chocolate, baba yetu kama nasi, chocolate, chocolate katika, chocolate kama nasi,
Absolutely incredible. Let's take a look at the national news this morning. Leaders of the BRICS bloc have signed a declaration supporting an open and inclusive multilateral trading system at their summit meeting in Sandton. The leaders of South Africa, China, Russia, India and Brazil have found common ground championing global trade and condemning protectionist measures. Now this comes after US President Donald Trump introduced new trade tariffs in March and several countries retaliated. Chinese President Xi Jinping said that BRICS countries must deepen their partnerships underpinned by economic and security cooperation. Labour brokers will soon be a thing of the past. The National Union of Metal Workers of South Africa, known as NUMSA, has won its battle against labour brokers in court. The Constitutional Court has ruled that workers may only be in the employ of both a labour broker and a main employer for 3 months. After 3 months, the worker will only be working for the main employer and not the labour broker. COSATU has welcomed the ruling and says this is not just a victory for NUMSA, but the entire working class. Now moving further abroad, tonight promises to be a big night for astronomy in much of Africa with the longest lunar eclipse, the so-called blood moon eclipse, in a century. It will last from 24 minutes past 8 to just after midnight. The moon will be fully eclipsed from 9:30 until it exits the eclipse stage at 13 minutes past 11, meaning a total eclipse period of about 103 minutes. At the same time, Mars will be making a 15-year close approach to Earth and will be less than 10 degrees from the moon. And when is the next eclipse? Only on the 16th of May, 2022. And then finally, former ace cricketer Imran Khan, the charismatic aristocrat who captained Pakistan to a World Cup victory in 1992, has claimed victory in Pakistan's election amid accusations of vote rigging by rivals. But Khan said that it's been the clearest and fairest election Pakistan has ever had and that he would investigate any claims to the contrary. His PTI party is still expected to fall short of an overall majority and will seek coalition partners. An official confirmation of the vote is still to come. Well, that was your 8 o'clock news update. Here's a final look at what's happening in the world of sport with Graham.
We stand at the foot of a thrilling weekend of rugby. All eyes will be on the Lions tomorrow as they tackle the Waratahs in the Super Rugby semi-finals. Lions unbeaten in their last 3 games, against the Australian side, including a 29-0 win this season. However, when we look at the tail of the tape, the Tars holding the advantage overall with 7 wins out of their 11 encounters. So the Lions match kicks off at 3:05 in the afternoon at Ellis Park, while in the other semi-final, an all-New Zealand affairs, the Crusaders face off against the Hurricanes. Then in cricket, the Proteas will look to bounce back from their test defeat to Sri Lanka when the teams face off in the first ODI on Sunday. Proteas' last series in the 50-over format saw them lose 5-1 to India in February, while Sri Lanka won 3 of their 5 matches in a tri-series against Zimbabwe and Bangladesh. The first ODI of the 5-match series gets underway on Sunday at 6:15 in the morning, South African time. Then in football, big news locally. Ajax Cape Town have withdrawn their interdict to halt the start of the new PSL season, meaning that next week's matches will go ahead as scheduled. Ajax had planned to postpone the season's start after their relegation was brought into doubt when Judge Denise Fisher ruled in favour of the Cape Town side's Tendai Ndoro case. So the new PSL season will indeed kick off next Saturday with the big guns all in action, Sundowns, Chiefs and Pirates taking to the field. And then finally in cycling, a thrilling stage 18 of the Tour de France took place yesterday, and it saw home lad Francis Arnaud Démare crossing the line first after a sprint finish. Démare completed the rather flat 171-kilometre stage in 3 hours, 46 minutes and 50 seconds, just ahead of French compatriot Christophe Laporte. South Africa's Theunis Janse van Rensburg having a great day, finishing the stage in 14th place. And that's a wrap of your sport for this morning.
Let's take a final look at what to expect in your traffic this morning. In the Western Cape and Goodwood, there's been an accident, and this is on the N7 southbound. It's after Plattekloof Road, blocking that right lane, so please approach with caution. You can expect delays. And that's where we leave your traffic for this morning.
Book flights from 499 Rand, only on travelstart.co.za.
Right, it's just after 8 o'clock. Let's quickly take a last look at your weather and your temperatures. And heavy rains and flooding is expected for the Western Cape today. We haven't seen that much yet, so we're still expecting it, hopefully. And also warnings have been issued for the Oeverberg region as well. And they also said thunder and lightning should persist for the next 24 hours. So we'll take a look. But for the rest of the country, nice and warm temperatures can be expected, especially up north. Your temperatures for last time: Polokwane is 6 minimum this morning with a maximum 23. Mbombela 11:28. Pretoria 8 and a high of 21. Johannesburg 6:20. Mahikeng 6:24. Klerksdorp 4:23. Kimberley 3:24. Bloemfontein around 0 this morning with a maximum 22. Richards Bay 16:29. Pietermaritzburg 10 minimum, your maximum 28. Durban 18:25. Mthatha 9:28. East London on 11 minimum with a maximum 29 degrees. Cradock 7:22. Port Elizabeth 9:20. George on 8 minimum, your maximum 16 degrees. Sutherland 1 and a high of 10 degrees, staying cold today. Cape Town 8:17. Worcester 6:14. Springbok 6:15. And Uppington 5 minimum with a maximum 22 degrees. That's a wrap of your weather and your temperatures for your Friday morning.
Don't fear the flu. Boost your immune system with Effaflu C Immune Booster by Pharmadynamics. Effective, affordable healthcare.
Well, still to come on your Feel Good Breakfast show, we're taking a look at budget travel tips for South Africans. Because why? I mean, you kind of need it, you know?
We do need it, but you can still travel in South Africa during winter. We've got some great destinations there. And then, of course, we take you back to the kitchen to whip up what sounds absolutely delicious and quite ingenious, an amasi lemon pie. So you better brace yourself, brace the digestive system for a sweet treat after the break.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. And you know what? We love traveling here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. And we want to travel the world, but sometimes you might feel like your budget is holding you back. Well, the good news is that you don't need a lot of money to explore destinations around the globe. How does renting an entire villa out in Bali for 600 Rand sound? Well, budget travel is still possible for South Africans if you know where to look and how to make the most out of your hard-earned rands. And that's why we invited Travelstart's Janice Temmers to chat about the best budget travel tips for South Africans in 2018. Janice, great to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
I feel like a lot of people don't realize that there is so much you can do with your finances, especially if you think and travel smartly. But what are your 5 top things that people need to keep in mind to budget for when they travel?
Oh, sure, and these are all from personal experiences. It's activities and day tours. You really get caught out with those if you don't budget well. The unexpected expense of going to a bathroom and having to pay €1 for it. And it's your accommodation and beverages. And then, but there's really a cool thing that's out there, which is a cash passport. You can even download a budget app, and someone like me really needs to have one of those because I get carried away. So yeah, those are the tips.
That's cool that you now get an app to help you, plan accordingly. Because I think one of the things people often forget is like you spend a lot of money on food and drinks. That's something you need to budget for if that's what you're after. But what sort of domestic and international flights and even packages does the Travelstart live team organize for travelers?
Oh, we do everything. Everything from flights, accommodation, transfers, car hire, day trips. So literally we take care of all your travel needs.
Okay, so what are some of the things that people need to book for to make sure you get the best price possible?
Well, the best price possible would be to book really far in advance.
Okay.
So really the emptier the flights are, the cheaper the prices are, and those really sell out really quickly. So anything from 8 to 11 months into the future, you get the best deals.
And what about that last minute chance taker? Is that possible for someone that wants to take that risk and wait to see if there maybe might be a drop in price? Or what's your take on that?
Waiting. Look, if you're waiting for a day tour or a sort of a guided tour, sometimes there are those last minute deals. But when it comes to flights, rather book it earlier or when there's a really great deal out, which we always have great deals. But then, and be flexible with your dates. Because the more flexible you are, we can find, where the best prices are on which day. Yeah.
Okay, well, speaking of the best prices, where are the best budget-friendly travel destinations for 2018?
Internationally or domestically?
Let's start domestically.
Domestically. Well, you could even just do a self-drive, tour your own backyard and just a few hours down the road. There are amazing guest houses, and the nice experience about that is that it's so authentic and you interact with the owners. So your experience is local, it's authentic, it's personalized, which is really, really great. If you're in the Johannesburg area, you can just take a self-drive to Sun City, which is fantastic. I mean, Western Cape, it's absolutely beautiful. There's so much that you can do. And internationally?
Yes, let's get those destinations.
Okay, great. So you could do an entire all-inclusive trip to Turkey, which is really great value for money. The Turkish lira to the rand is not that bad. I've done Turkey and it really blew my mind. You could do Vic Falls for 3 nights, just a nice quick getaway. There's Thailand, which is famous for the South African market.
Yes.
And then also Bali.
I think those are the popular destinations.
Absolutely.
You look at people's Instagram feeds and you always see everyone's either in Thailand or Bali. But it's great to know that that is still falls under the budget-friendly destinations for the South African rand. Janice, we're going to be back with you a little bit later. Cool. And if you want to enjoy your next holiday while staying on budget, well, why don't you organize your next holiday with the Travelstart live team by calling them on 021 020 0559. It's just another amazing way to enjoy hassle-free, budget-friendly getaways with travelstart.co.za.
Book flights from 499 Rand, only on travelstart.co.za.
Well, just to inspire you to travel a little bit more, 3 of our favorite South Africans are on top billing tomorrow at 6 p.m. Maps Maponyane, of course, heading off to the glittering and oh-so-romantic wedding of our multiple Olympic medal winner, Cameron van den Berg. It looked like the most magical experience. Then Tamron Green, our newly crowned Miss SA, talks about what's most important to her, family. You can catch it all tomorrow at 6 p.m. right here on 3 on Top Billing, with the repeat at midday on Sunday.
Join the party on #TopBilling this Saturday evening at 6 with Miss South Africa Tamrin Green and her family.
Tamrin, what does it feel like to be back in Cape Town?
Oh, I love it. You know, it's home. Your family's here, and I'll take any opportunity to come and visit, you know, the winelands. It's beautiful.
Ayanda Tabete brings you the show from Haas Farm, a modern urban designer take on green living by Harry Portman and Stain Jacobs.
This is an incredible view. Why did you decide to settle in Stanford?
We decided to settle here because we wanted to build a home, but we also wanted to create a way of living and a lifestyle. That's why we choose for Stanford and this valley.
Privan Reddy is the kid who collected boxes for recycling and became the supercar driving, high-flying CEO of one of Africa's leading mobile app firms.
So you guys want to know how I went from taking a taxi to flying first class globally? Tune in to find out.
Don't miss it. This week on Top Billing, it's the kind of story that makes for blockbusting movies and best-selling novels. Privan Reddy.
You stand a chance of winning a slice of the best of the good life on a 7-day Caribbean cruise for 2 aboard the luxurious Allure of the Seas from Fort Lauderdale, Florida to the Bahamas, Mexico and Honduras. Details on topbilling.com. Maps has just been traveling to Greece, where Olympic champion Cameron van der Berg weds fiancée Nefeli Valakelis at the seaside with a host of gold medal winning guests.
My big fat Greek wedding number 3 with a South African twist. You don't want to miss this one. We're in Greece for the celebration and journey of making Mr. and Mrs. van der Berg. That's this Saturday, 6 p.m. on SABC3.
The stage is yours.
There's fireworks abroad and the best of country life at home.
Catch me, Ayanda Tabete, this Saturday on Top Billing at 6 p.m. as I come to you from this gorgeous location in Stanford. Don't miss it. It's this Saturday at 6 p.m. Repeat is on Sunday at 12, only on SABC3. The stage is yours.
Well, listen, we want to make sure that you travel, and when it's done well, budget travel has little to do with sacrifice or compromise, and it has a lot to do with inventiveness and flexibility. Now, while budgets, regardless of the size, do determine the variety of choices available during a journey, they don't have to determine that journey's scope. And in reality, any trip is as wide as you can imagine it. And thanks to Travelstart, we're getting the best budget travel tips, and Janice is back with us on the hot couch. Now, I'm all for budget traveling. I feel like I'm a great budget traveler. I save a lot generally with accommodation, but there are certain things you should not cut your budget short for. And Janice, in your personal opinion, what is that?
Oh, in personal opinion and my professional opinion, it's travel insurance. You cannot travel without travel insurance. It's really better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. Things could go wrong. You could be covered for bad weather. So you could be in Mauritius and there could be a tropical storm. Flights cannot take off. You could be in Bali and the volcano has erupted, there's volcanic ashes and the flights are grounded. Now you've checked out of your hotel because your trip's over, but you actually cannot leave within the next 2 days. So you need to pay for that extra accommodation. And if you have travel insurance, you can actually claim it back from your insurance. Yep.
That's good to know that you can claim things like that back, because I think a lot of people don't expect things like that to happen. That forces them to stay longer than what they've planned. Very, very interesting. And then, you know, when it comes to keeping up to date with the coolest flight specials and the coolest holiday packages on travelstart.co.za, how can people do that?
Oh, subscribe to our newsletter. You'd always be informed. You'd always be informed.
That's awesome. And then what are some of the travel expenses most people forget to factor in when planning their trip?
Well, some restaurants you'd actually enter and you'd think, you know, you're going to a restaurant, you can sit down and you're going to tip them anyway. Well, that's correct, but you actually will have to pay to sit down, and this is a separate charge to just tipping.
Where's this?
You get some places in Europe. So
really?
I've experienced that. I went, what? So actually, it is true. Also, when they're serving bread, like they do in South Africa, and you eating the bread, you're enjoying yourselves, the bill come, you eat, you pay. So that bread is not complimentary.
It's not complimentary. That's quite scary, because I know in the States as well, you have to, it's expected of you to generally tip when you go for services like the hairdresser, things that you think, okay, cool, this is what I'm paying, that's what I'm getting, but there's an additional charge to that.
Absolutely.
And any last parting advice for someone that wants to plan their next trip but keep it within budget?
Okay, so we have to be very realistic when it comes to budget. If you're like me, you would have champagne taste and beer money. So, but it's always really great to be very honest with your travel agent. So, you know what your budget is, and we're out there to meet your requirements as best we can. So if you're on a budget and you want to go to Europe, for example, and let's choose Paris. So instead of having your hotel situated right at the Eiffel Tower, move it a bit further away, because location is also quite pricey. Maybe you're used to luxury travel and you've used to staying in a 5-star. Let's downgrade you, or let's shorten the nights. So, work with us, we'll work with you, and we'll really make your dream come true and deliver that amazing travel experience.
Oh, well, Janice, thank you so much for joining us and for sharing that. And if you want to enjoy your next holiday while staying on budget, organize your next holiday with the Travelstart live team, and you can give them a call. That number's 021 020 0559, and it's just another amazing way to enjoy a hassle-free, budget-friendly getaway with travelstart.co.za.
Book flights from 499 Rand, only on travelstart.co.za.
So exciting. Something else that's exciting after the break. We're taking a look at the new movies releasing this weekend. So exciting. Things that you can do if you have nothing else planned.
Exactly. It's one of those kind of weekends, especially in the Western Cape, nice and cool. So head down to the movies. And then also sticking to your Feel Good Breakfast show this morning on the menu, something delicious, something sweet to go into the weekend, that maybe you can pair that with your braai that you're going to be doing this weekend. An amasi lemon pie. Something completely different, something new, something exquisite.
Expresso gets comfortable in style as we bring Coricraft's famous line of home furniture into your living room and one step closer to you every morning right here on Expresso. Fully customizable quality, exceptional value, and proudly South African in your choice of fabric or leather. That's Coricraft coming to you on Expresso.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show, and I hope you're having a fantastic Friday so far, and it's perfect for a flashback Friday. So we thought, why not take a look at some of South Africa's beautiful ladies? In particular, did you know that the first South African, Miss Universe, Margaret Gardner, was crowned 40 years ago this week.
Wow.
And of course, Miss Universe, the reigning one, Demi-Leigh Nel-Peters, she is the second South African beauty queen to be crowned Miss Universe. And aside from the obvious, Demi-Leigh, I mean, she is a sight to behold. There's more to the South African beauty that might surprise you. So we thought for today's Flashback Friday, it would be interesting. Facts about the beauty queen that you did not know.
Exactly. Firstly, did you know that Demi Lee almost didn't make it to the Miss Universe pageant? Now, a month after she was crowned as Miss South Africa, a group of kidnappers robbed her at gunpoint. We were all very, very shocked at the news as well, but luckily she managed to defend herself by punching one of the men in the throat before making a quick escape. Hey?
Scary things. I remember when that news broke. Yes, and Demi Lee, she actually used her experience to teach more women how to defend themselves, and she developed a program, it's called Unbreakable, that empowers women to fight for themselves.
I like that, I like that. And also, did you know that she collects vintage jewelry from each country that she visits? She must have an entire suitcase full of pieces already, but she said that the pieces remind her of where she's been and express and show off the culture of the country where it comes from.
I wonder what she has from South Africa. And her favorite quote is actually a quote from Albert Einstein. It says, "The woman who follows the crowd will usually go no further than the crowd. The woman who walks alone is likely to find herself in places no one else has ever been before."
Wow, powerful stuff. And that's a great quote to live by as well, and definitely very suited for her journey as Miss Universe. And we are very, very proud of her. Demi Lee Nell Peters, our very own. But we want to know, what characteristics do you think make a great Miss Universe? Let's just take a look at Demi Lee for a second. But you can let us know your thoughts using our hashtag Expresso Show, also hashtag Flashback Friday.
She is so awesome.
Yo,
She's
let me tell
cool,
you,
man.
beyond beautiful. I have no words for Demi. She's just gorgeous.
Unbreakable. I love that. Empowering. So let's empower you now with some awesome movies. We know that it's getting a little chilly across South Africa, so we want you to be able to kick back and relax, and we've got you covered for the weekend when it comes to movies. Let's start tonight. We're kicking off our movie lineup here on 3 with a movie called Barefoot. It's a comedy drama, a dramedy, as we like to call it, starring, and it's got a pretty cool cast, Evan Rachel Wood, Scott Speedman, and the brilliant J.K. Simmons. It follows the black sheep of a wealthy family who's trying to straighten out his life and, of course, meets a free-spirited woman who helps him find his way. Take a look.
The black sheep of a wealthy family meets a young psychiatric patient who's been raised in isolation her entire life.
MJ, so where is this girl?
He takes the genuinely charming young woman home for his brother's wedding.
You'll be sleeping in Marie Antoinette's bed.
Oh, no, that's okay. She can have it. I'll just sleep on the floor.
Oh, you're so funny.
Fall in love in Barefoot. Friday at 9:30 on 3. The stage is yours.
Oh, wow.
Nice,
Now,
man.
that's
It's
a very,
cute,
it looks
eh?
cute.
Yeah.
I would love to watch this movie. Now, on Saturday night, SABC3 has 2 great movies for you. The very first one, of course, stars none other than one of my favorite people, Will Smith, Eva Mendes, Kevin James. And this is where Will Smith plays a professional dating consultant who makes a living by teaching men to woo women. Let's check it out.
Basic principles. No matter what, no matter when, no matter who, any man has a chance to sweep any woman off her feet. Just needs the right broom.
3 dates and I'll get you here. To the high-stakes medal round, where 8 out of 10 women believe that the first kiss will tell them everything they need to know about the relationship.
Hey, did you ever hear this guy they call the date doctor?
Urban myth.
Really?
Absolutely.
Listen to what she is saying.
Well, I was told you help guys get in there.
Let me give you my number. Do you have a pen?
The guy with all the answers now has a lot of questions of his own.
I saw that going differently in my mind.
Well, though,
I saw that going differently in my mind. I love it, man. So following on from Hitchin, of course, that's at 7 p.m. tomorrow night. At 9:30, a classic with a classic cast. It's Charles Dickens's Great Expectations. And when I talk about an incredible cast, Jeremy Irvina, Helena Bonham Carter, Holiday Granger, and Rafe Fiennes in the classic tale about a humble orphan who suddenly becomes a gentleman, of course, with the help of an unknown and secretive benefactor.
People who are meant to be together.
What are you doing?
Perhaps we shall meet again one day. Seems unlikely.
May sometimes get lost along the path, but will eventually find their way back to each other.
Lover. Love you, Esther.
Love is never lost. It's right here in Great Expectations. Saturday at 9:30 on 3. The stage is yours.
The stage is yours indeed. Great expectations about this movie lineup this weekend. And of course, it's all coming to you right here on 3.
Exactly. So stay tuned. You don't have to move a muscle because SABC3 has everything you need.
Clover amasi is a thick, creamy mass your family will love. Made with love by Clover.
We'll talk about moving a muscle. You might have to move just a little bit of a muscle to put together our dessert, but it is really easy. Teresa in the kitchen. It's a clover amasi lemon pie, perfect to kick off your weekend. Great dessert, especially with colder weather as well. Teresa, thank you very much. We've been all kind of smelling this lemony flavors in the kitchen this whole morning. We are all very, very hungry for this, and it looks beautiful and living up to its lemon name.
Absolutely.
Let's make it. Let's put it together.
Such a great flavor. All right.
So we're using clover full cream amasi, and if you didn't know about this, clover amasi is a fermented milk, and it doesn't contain any preservatives as well. So it's great for baking, a great substitute for buttermilk as well. So basically, lactic acid is added to the full cream pasteurized, causing it to ferment, giving it that distinct flavor as well.
That's right.
So that goes in there.
I've just popped it in the pot, and don't worry about the lumps, because as you cook it, they will disappear. So
yes.
Don't worry about that. I've just added a tin of condensed milk as well.
Lovely.
Which is going to sweeten it. So give that a stir. And then we're going to add some egg yolks.
Okay.
Which also add to the colour.
Okay, so essentially, I know that we kind of fast forwarding a little bit. Do you? How long do you wait before you put the yolks in there?
You can add it straight away.
Can you add it straight away?
And then the corn flour, and then just cook it over the heat for a couple of minutes, just to thicken it up.
To thicken up a little bit.
Yeah. So we've got our corn flour, so just whisk until it's nice and smooth.
So obviously with the heat, it's going to come together nice and smooth.
It'll thicken, that's right.
Yes.
And we're also going to add some fresh lemon juice.
Right.
For the lemony zing.
So fresh ones or the one that you can buy in the bottle from the store? Which one would you?
I would prefer fresh.
Fresh.
Yeah.
Right.
You definitely can't beat that fresh flavour.
And you can see already it's starting to thicken up very nicely.
That's right. Then over here, we've also got some lemon jelly, which we've dissolved in boiling water.
And that goes in there as well?
Yeah, so once this is thick, you can slowly add your jelly.
There we go.
So, splash.
Sorry.
And there we go. So you can see that beautiful colour. We've got all the flavour in there. It's nice and smooth.
That's it. And you can see the colour beautifully coming through like you mentioned.
Absolutely. So super, super easy.
Is that pretty much it?
That's pretty much
for the filling,
done.
right?
Yeah.
All right.
So we've prepared a biscuit base here. It's basically a packet of tennis biscuits that have been crushed up,
mixed
with a bit of melted butter, and then pressed into the dish.
Just like that, as you would.
Also very easy.
The keyword is Clover. SMS that to 33728 if you want to get your hands on our beautiful lemon pie recipe. That's Clover to 33728. Check it out on our website as well, expressoshow.com. Cool.
There we go.
So tennis biscuits, butter, squeeze it into a base.
That's it.
And then that goes on top.
Yes, and I'm going to pour this in. And then once it's in, you pop it in the fridge overnight to set.
That's it.
And it's all done.
Look at that.
There we go. Very, very easy.
Sure. So do you want to let it cool a little bit before you pop in the fridge?
Let it cool, maybe to about room temperature. Pop it in the fridge, and then the next day, it'll be all ready.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
That is super easy. I mean, if you really want a dessert that is a time saver, especially over the weekend, if you don't feel like spending hours in the kitchen, because I know our weekends are very, very precious. Mine are, in fact. So you want to have something that's quick, easy, but ultimately delicious as well.
Exactly. And it looks fantastic. If you serve that to your friends and family, they'll absolutely love it.
Store-bought. It's store-bought, you know? That's how good it will look.
Good
the keyword is Clover. SMS that to 33728. If you want to see those steps one more time, here they are.
If you're looking for the perfect homemade treat to comfort you this winter, you're going to want to try this irresistible Clover amasi lemon pie recipe, which is rich in flavor with a delicious smoothness. For this recipe, you'll need 1 pack of crushed tennis biscuits, 1 tin of Clover condensed milk, a half a cup of lemon juice, a half a cup of Clover amasi, a quarter cup of melted Clover butter, 3 egg yolks, 1 tablespoon of corn flour, and 1 packet of lemon jelly. Add crushed tennis biscuits to a mixing bowl. Add melted clover butter and stir to combine. Pour your crushed tennis biscuits and melted butter mixture into a lined cake tin. Then press the biscuits down and place in the fridge. Next, combine the lemon jelly and boiling water and mix well. Pour the clover condensed milk into a pot. Add egg yolks, corn flour, and whisk to combine. Whisk in the lemon juice and add your clover amasi. Whisk until thickened. Then whisk in the lemon jelly. Next, pour the filling into the cake tin. Refrigerate overnight and enjoy the next day. You'll be hooked from the first moment you sink your teeth in and taste that slightly salty crust, along with the sweet and smooth amasi filling that is a true taste of home.
Made with love by Clover.
And there you have it. Very, very quick, very easy, very tasty. The keyword is Clover. SMS that to 33728 to get your hands on the Clover Amasi full cream lemon pie. Perfect for the weekend. Teresa, thank you very much.
Pleasure.
You're going to be back a little bit later on. We're making homemade ice cream that's still
great.
on our breakfast menu, or should I say dessert menu. It's coming your way in just a bit.
Clover Amasi is a thick, creamy mass your family will love. Made with love by Clover.
Well, still to come on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, because we just love Ewan in the kitchen. We're going to keep him there a little while longer as we make a no-churn vanilla ice cream recipe.
Ooh, sounds amazing. And then it's been such an incredible month seeing how everyone is spending their 67 minutes for Madiba Day. And we're going to take a look at how Tears Animal Shelter spent their 67 minutes.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso right here on SABC3. Now, our very own Tata Madiba believed that when we let our light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same.
Oh man, and boy did that light shine on the 18th, of course, Mandela Day, where I had the opportunity to join the incredible team from Pet Hills Nutrition, spreading that ethos, not only with the incredible animals at Tears Animal Shelter, but the hardworking people that give their time and their energy and their love so freely. These were our Mandela Day efforts. I think Tata Madiba said it best. There is no greater gift than the giving of one's time and energy without expecting anything in return. This Mandela Day, I'm joining the selfless team from Hills Pet Nutrition as they give some unconditional love, firstly to the animals here at Tears Rescue, who give us love so freely. Likewise, the people that give their time every single day. This is what Mandela Day is all about. Let's go. Tears has a very special place in my heart because the pups are gorgeous, it's beautiful, the people here are so authentic, they really are doing such an amazing job. So for us to be able to highlight that, it really is a privilege.
Yeah, I'm so excited, and I love the turnout, and this shows that people really love the animals, and which is what Hills stand for. We love our animals and our pets, and we want to give them homes that they can get all the love.
We like to get our hands dirty and do something good for Mandela Day, and it's important for us to realize that compassionate animal care is part of our job.
There we go. You know, dogs have this amazing ability. They just exist, they are, and life seems that much more amazing. Maybe that's what's motivating everyone today. Everyone has a job, from DIY projects to gardening. Everyone's getting stuck in. By the end of today, we're going to have transformed this space. Go for it, bro. Go for it.
Pets are our passion at Hills, and my personal passion as well. What a fitting way for us to honor Mandela Day by coming and volunteering our time here at Tears. It really is important to us at Hills that we help as many pets as possible get the love, the care, the nutrition that they need to have a happy, healthy life. And so for us, you know, we do this kind of thing all year round around the country.
My job today is painting the puppy centre. So it's been so much fun, and it's just so great to see everybody all get together and do such wonderful work.
It's quite difficult to put into words what today has felt like. I'm covered in sweat, mud, paw prints, fur, and I'm brimming with pride. As much as we are here today, we need the public to come in here, spend some time in this beautiful new environment that we've helped to beautify, and find their forever friend to take home.
Making a difference that's what Hills is about. So to bring our team together and come out here today and help Tears, it's basically the best thing that we could do for our 67 minutes and more on Mandela Day.
I think it's so important because I'm passionate about animals and their welfare, and this organisation does so much amazing work, so it's just nice to be a part of something good.
So we were building little play areas for the pets, we were treating them, playing with them, and just giving love back to them like the animals give love to us.
Definitely inspiring, this hive of activity around me today. When you look into the eyes of these beautiful creatures, that's exactly what you should see. A living being, a free spirit that deserves a beautiful place to live. And I think someone who knows that all too well is a good friend of Expresso, Luke Crate.
The main problem with many organisations in the non-profit sector is that there's just so much work to be done, and there's not enough hands on deck to do anything. Staff-wise, everyone's kind of always running on low, everyone's doing too much. So days like this are amazing. We just get to have so many dreams filled and little things and projects we want to do, we never get around to do. So today it's amazing. Well, with all the gardening we're doing, and we're creating lots of paddock walls with plants in them, so it's going to be a much more aesthetic area for the dogs and for visitors as well. If you want to adopt a dog from us, you can. Just check out our website, it's tears.org.za. We rely heavily on volunteers, and there's all sorts of volunteers you need, from helping with the dogs, with the walking and training. The list is endless.
A lot of laughs, a lot of jokes going around, and all of us had a blast. I must say, this was actually one of those things that you actually want to come out and have a run at.
The atmosphere here today has been just pure energy. I can't believe the momentum that was created. The Hills team came with a mission, like a team on a mission, and I cannot believe how much they've achieved in such a short amount of time as well. It really does reinforce that while we were here for just 67 minutes today, you could do so much by applying this mentality every day. Ladies and gentlemen, can you please take a look at what you've achieved today? Give yourselves a round of applause. My word. I know today was about spending 67 minutes giving something back. To be completely honest, I feel like I have been given something, and something truly special. So let's take this effort beyond 67 minutes and make it an every day of the year kind of activity. And if you can, come and spend a little bit of time here in this beautiful new environment and adopt a Tears dog, guys. Well done.
Science is at the heart of biology-based nutrition. The secret to lifelong health, it all starts with science.
All right, back in the kitchen with the lovely Teresa this morning. Now, earlier on, we prepared a delicious lemon amasi pie, and to serve with that, we're making a no-churn vanilla ice cream. And this looks absolutely delicious. I just had a taste as well, and it is phenomenal.
So creamy.
And the fact that it's no churn, Teresa,
I know.
see, that's the winning thing.
We're making
because
it easy for you today.
a lot of people are scared to make ice cream,
I know.
Myself included. So what's the deal? Why is it no churn?
So you basically whip the ingredients together. So
Okay.
you get all the air in there, then you pop it in the freezer, and it just freezes like that. You don't have to stir it to break up the ice crystals. It
Yeah.
just stays beautiful and creamy.
So how come we just don't make no-churn ice cream all the time?
Well, this is my new thing. So I'm making this all the time at home because it's so easy.
So I just want to mention that we have scooped out some on the lemon
Yes.
pie already. They have been melting because it's hot in here. So just so you know, it still looks good, but it's
laid
amazing.
back ice cream.
Okay.
Right, I've got 2 cups of cream in here.
Right.
Make sure you use
I'll pour in the
whipping
rest,
cream.
what you need.
Perfect. Okay. So you, sorry, need a splash guard.
Got it. Okay.
So you want to whip this up until it's nice and stiff,
Yes.
and then you add the rest of the ingredients.
Okay. So stiff meaning a stiff peak or a...
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Exactly. But
Right.
don't
But-
overmix it, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got some vanilla paste here, and I prefer to use vanilla paste because you've got the little seeds, and it's just got an incredible flavor.
Yeah. So that's going to go in
So
there.
don't skimp on the vanilla.
Yeah. Oh, and
So-
having that vanilla, like the actual vanilla with the seeds and the pods in there,
Exactly.
absolutely
You can
amazing.
see the little seeds in there.
That's it.
So there we go. Then we can add a pinch of salt.
Just like that.
Just to offset that sweetness.
All right.
Right, it's getting nice and thick. And then last of all, you add your tin of condensed milk.
So entire tin.
Go for it.
Don't be shy. Here we go.
And it's going to sweeten it up, make it lovely and creamy.
That's it.
And you can see how that's all coming together.
That should be it.
Yeah. There we go.
All
So
right.
just combine that. It's getting lovely and thick. You can
Yeah.
see.
So obviously with you just want to make sure that it's mixed through completely.
That's
you know,
right,
you don't have
yeah.
lumps of condensed milk, floating around there.
Just make sure it's combined evenly.
All right.
And that you've got all your air in
That's
there. And doesn't that look beautiful?
It looks stunning. I can't believe that you don't have to churn it, which is amazing. The keyword is treat. SMS that to 33728. That's treat to 33728. If you want to get your hands on this delicious vanilla no-churn ice cream that you can pair so beautifully with our amasi lemon pie that we made earlier on.
This is so delicious on its own, but if you wanted to, you
Absolutely.
could add chocolate, you could add espresso, you could add
So you
lemon
can
curd.
change the flavor profile a little bit,
Absolutely.
which
Use
is
this
also
as a
great.
base and just get creative and add all your favorite flavors.
So really, it's about popping it in the freezer and
It'll need to set
That's
probably
it.
overnight, and
Okay.
then you're done. It comes out nice and creamy, and
there
And
you
it's
have
all
it.
done, yeah.
It's been steadily melting, but it's okay because we're going to tuck into this just now. The keyword is treat. SMS that to 33728. You can find the recipe also on our website, expressoshow.com, a little bit later on. Teresa, thank you very much
My pleasure.
for sorting us out with some delicious and easy desserts for this weekend. Make this one today, pop it in the fridge or the freezer, and tomorrow when you have your braai and you afterwards, everyone's chilling, whip these guys
Already.
out and you'll be the talk of the party. Thank you, Teresa. Treat is the keyword for our ice cream this morning. SMS that to 33728.
If you're looking for a delicious lunch or dinner recipe, a chicken pie is always a favorite. It is a family favorite and it always gives you the perfect comfort. Well, don't miss Chef Clem's recipe this afternoon. He's whipping up a spicy chicken and vegetable pie with an amasi crust. Now, don't miss any of the action. It's all taking place on Afternoon Express at 4:30 p.m. on 3.
Well, your favorite home makeover show is back. It's Winner Home Season 5, and they're looking for contestant design duos who will turn any space into a dream come true. So we're calling all inspiring and aspiring interior designers to work their magic on 3 penthouse apartments at the Park de Valet Lifestyle Estate in Somerset West. Now, all you need to do is visit www.winnerhome.tv for all the details on how to apply. Applications close today at 12 o'clock. So get entering.
What the fridge? Shut the front door. Winner Home is back. Yes, the 5th season of Winner Home is looking for contestant design duos. And this year it's happening in the glorious Cape. If you think you have what it takes to serve up some design razzle and dazzle and have the eye for details, then apply now to be one of the design duos, each decorating an apartment in Somerset West. Competing for the title of Best Design Duo and stand the chance of winning the cash prize worth 100,000 Rand!
Season 5 of Winner Home is looking for 3 design duos who will decorate 3 penthouse apartments on the Park de Valet Lifestyle Estate in Somerset West, developed by Baldwin Properties.
For details of how to apply, go to winnerhome.tv. This is your opportunity to make a name for yourself in the South African interior design industry and make the stage yours. Apply now to be a design contestant duo on winnerhome.tv. Coming soon to SABC3. The stage is yours!
If you thought that was a tough act to follow, we might just do it. We've got another performance coming. And if I look a little bit glum, I think separation anxiety is already starting to kick in. I now know what's been missing in my life. It's a Stellenbosch University Choir to punctuate everything I say. I don't know if you guys can follow me around for the rest of the day, so that every time something amazing happens, you can just go...
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Happy birthday, a very happy birthday to you.
Welcome back to your feel-good breakfast show. It's Expresso right here on SABC3. Time for us to head to the socials one more time because we need to say a last few happy birthdays to people who are celebrating their special birthday today. Snacks Madolo says, my ex, although we are apart, I still wish her all the best. Happy birthday. We'll send her an airtime. Life goes on after all. That's amazing. You're going to send your ex an airtime? I love that. Kolani says, I like to wish King Goodwill Bayede a happy birthday. Also, Karabo says, happy birthday to my little sister, Khotatso, who's turning 29 today. Also, Melissa says, happy birthday to Karen. Trader Chizande says, happy birthday to my sister Eunice. She turns 40. And then Jet Shram says, hey, Leanne, looking gorgeous. Thank you so much, Jet. I think it's the boots, hey? Let's say it's the boots. Happy birthday to everybody. And of course, if you at home are having a birthday, we want to say a very happy birthday from us, your Expresso Show family.
So one last opportunity for the choir master to crack the whip. I know it looks like they're having a whale of a time, but I cannot believe the amount of talent, first of all, that you guys possess, but just how in unison everyone is. And I think a lot of that is due to Andre van der Merwe, who is the most inspirational conductor, hey, as voted by his own choir.
You just go like this.
You do actually have that title, and I'm going to ask you to convey why through your eyes right now, but I'm going to ask you why you think you earned that title. Why do you appreciate your job so much and use it to inspire?
I think it's good teamwork. I don't believe in anything in terms of success as a one-man show. It's how a team works together and how you feed off one another, and I can truly testify that that is what happens here.
They're like your clay, your ball of clay that you mold.
But I'm also a little ball of clay.
I'm trying to get you to act like a serious choir master here.
I will.
Just once. Just crack that whip just once. How long have you been working with this particular group? Because surely it's in flux. You don't always have the same group, as amazing as they are. You've got to kind of let the choir come ahead of the individual, or is that the case?
You know what happens with a university choir? At the end of every year, a few of them leave, and you always start with a new group at the beginning of the year.
Hopefully.
Yes.
Hopefully a few of them leave.
And what is fantastic is that every year you have to reinvent the group. So I challenge myself that I don't just go into old habits, but to see what I have to work with and how you present that in a unique way.
And of course, everyone coming from different, as you said, cultural backgrounds, but also academic backgrounds. Who are the tougher ones? Is it the humanities? Is it the sciences?
Let me see, where are the medicine students? The engineers? Yeah, literally, I can go on like that. We have very few music students. They literally comprise a lot of academic faculties. And that's exciting because we literally learn from one another. I can be a lawyer, a doctor. No, I'm just joking. Because we learn from one another. And the nice thing is the diversity that we combine into a unique, uniform product.
But life is going to pigeonhole you for the rest of your life. This is an opportunity to be a part of something much bigger. And I think you kind of speak to the grander South African narrative of how good our choirs are in this country.
Yes.
If I talk about the World Choir Games, that sounds quite intimidating for something that is so light and beautiful and enjoyable, but we really are on the map. How do you feel South Africa measures up in the grand scheme, in the global scheme of things?
I think us South Africans have a unique energy and discipline in combination. And for that reason, we sell who we are as a fascinating mix of cultures. And I think that's part of our magic, that we look different, we sound different as a result.
We're just so ridiculously talented, guys. It really has been amazing hosting all of you. Andre, you most of all.
Thank you.
Most inspirational conductor. What are you going to close off with
We're going
today?
to end off with two beautiful African pieces. The one is Umakoti, which is a Zulu wedding song. I think you will hear the joy and the pride
Just
of
for
the
you,
wedding.
Pro. Just for you, buddy.
And then the last one is called Jikkel Emaweni. It's a Xhosa stick song, a dance song, singing about the people departing for the mines.
Oh, I love it. No pressure on the choreography guys in front. It really has been wonderful to be blessed by your talent this morning. Thank you so much for just bringing that to our studio space and our energy. We absolutely love you guys.
Thank you very much.
One last time, the stage is yours.
Come on now.
Chica Madoda,
They're probably
Phenomenal.
the most talented choir we've ever had on the show.
But like
Probably, they are.
You're still on camera,
They
guys.
are.
There we go.
Probably the most well-known choir
Yeah.
as well, not only in the Western Cape and South Africa, but the world as well. They are
Just phenomenal, man. And I know we're gushing over you at the moment, but we get a lot of incredible acts on our show, and you guys really have stood up for your nature as much as your performance. So thank you so much to Andre and all of those choristers for joining us this morning, and well done on all the international accolades, flying that flag high.
So are you going to get them to follow you around today?
I hope so.
Yeah.
I've been really working my way in there, especially in the bass section. But absolute elation. It kind of feels like a blessing on a Friday, just to start the weekend.
Absolutely,
Beautiful,
man.
Thank
What a
you,
way to
guys.
start the weekend. Thank you very much for tuning in and joining us on your Feel Good Breakfast Show this morning. It's time for the weekend, guys. It's here. This week is nearly finished. Go out there, have a great day, and we'll connect with you once again on Monday. Relationship talks on a Monday. How to change that relationship status.
Yeah. Oh.
That's
Yes, please.
Come on, man.
And we don't want to hear any of its complicated
That's
stuff.
a Monday chat. That's not for a Friday.
It's
Come on,
complicated.
stop it.
It's complicated. Also running you through some brand new shows heading your way on SABC3 as well. So something to look forward to, definitely on a Monday.
And if you missed that exhilarating episode of Presenter Search on 3 last night, of course, you know that you can catch it again on Saturday at 12.
The twists.
A repeat. It's absolutely amazing. I'm just glad that my favorites are still there. They ain't going anywhere. And just let's say I might have a young cough that a young Fez might need to take care of. I'm just saying. I'm going to pass on
You
the
look
next
like you
time.
got a bit of a temperature. Thank you so much to our Stellenbosch University Choir and to all of you. Have an amazing weekend and stay safe. And never forget, we love you.
We love you.
Cheers, guys.
Show made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.